What's up? What's up? Conversation with queens or conversation with kings and queens court,
Queen's
whatever,
Court, darling. Queen's Court.
whatever it is. It's amazing because I have you ladies on the panel with me, and I appreciate y'all. Yesterday you did your thing. I think we had queens court 2 days in a row. Be honest with you, and
True.
that was really dope. Like I said, I think y'all, you ladies are the wave of YouTube. Thank you for everybody for coming. Please share this page or this channel. Get everybody in the room. It's going to be a very dope topic today. I want everybody to come in and enjoy with us. Shout out to all the moderators, Chris, everybody that comes to support us. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Mrs. Dean and her wonderful family, the Dean family. Shout out to Queen Nita, who always comes here on time. Tristan, thank you so much for all your comedy. We might bring you up on stage tomorrow because we need your comedy. We miss your comedy. Shout out to Missy T and everybody that shows love to KWK channel. That's Conversation with King. And before we start, let's get through this quick sponsorship, and then we are going to really tear up the topic today. And I got spicy questions for the ladies today. I want to set them up. I hope they're ready for it. I hope it works. But if it doesn't, I'm still going to hit them with the question anyway. So let me get through the sponsorship real quick, and I hope everybody can bear with me, please. Shout out to Terry for creating it too. Without further ado, we want to shout out to Conversation with Kings and Ripple, which was the original sponsor. They've been showing us love, and I actually have a big surprise with them. Hopefully, maybe March, April, we'll see. After the first quarter, everybody starts making those little deals. So Ripple, please go and get the Revive, the Dream, Relax, Boost, Power, Focus, all the flavors you want. Zero nicotine, no THC. It's like smoking a vape of tea. It's like aromatherapy. I love it because it makes me calm down. It makes me look cool too when I smoke because I don't smoke cigarettes. Also, shout out to my book, Loving Life Through the Eyes of Travel. You can get it on Amazon, Kindle, Apple iBooks, BookBaby, and every other platform that sells a book. It is the Bible of romance. It is the Rosetta Stone of relationships. It's everything you could imagine in a small package. And I just think that you should get it. And it's something that's heartfelt. It's about my higher self, me being the best man I can be in regards to being with women and the capacity of love. So I appreciate you if you get it. If you don't, I still love you. Also, shout out to Willie Dean's book, Love, by Willie Dean. Willie Dean definitely is a man who's been married to his beautiful wife, Han, for I think close to 14 years. They have beautiful children, 3 beautiful children. And he wrote this book because he wanted to be the example that his children get to see up close every day, and everybody gets to have. So if you know Willie D, he's like the greatest father in the world. So please go and support that book. It's called Love by Willie D, and it's on Amazon. So please go and support him as well. And this was all created by Terry Mera. Terry Mera, as you know, we know her as Terry. She is one of the top designers in New York. She actually designed for Harry Winston jewelry and other notable celebrities. I don't want to say because she says I don't want to show off, but please go and support Terry. And Terry has a lot of designs coming out. We actually had a meeting today, and we got some good stuff coming out for you that has nothing to do with the actual merchandise of Conversation King, but something totally exclusive. And without further ado, that was it. And now we get to start our show. And the show today is going to be amazing. I love how y'all come in the room when we come on. I love it. I love it. I really do love it. Because once y'all see, you get notifications, y'all come right in the room. And one thing I must admit, the numbers got to get better in the beginning, because usually towards like midway through the shows, we get up to 80 and 90. I need y'all to start coming in early and showing support for the ladies early, but they always hit their numbers at the end. And I know we have a heavy competition because we go against, I believe, that other channel. They have something called King's Talk, which is crazy. King's Talk, Queen's Court. Wow. I didn't plan it like that, but that's what it is. And I think they're holding their own. The numbers don't lie. Without further ado, let me bring out the question, ladies. But before I bring out the questions, you have anything to say?
Hey, what's up, chat? I see y'all comments. I appreciate you. Hello. You said something interesting, King. You said Terry is modest. I think 2022 should be the year of all us modest folks say, fuck y'all, this is who I am. This is what I got.
Right.
Everybody else does it, and we all like modest. Like I don't know, hell with that. Modesty is for dead people. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. We all need to be bragging. We all need to be bragging. Okay.
That is so. I like that T-shirt. T-shirt. Modesty is for dead people. I love it. I love it. Anything, Kim, you have to say?
Here, we're alive. So,
Mhm.
and we accomplish a lot, and we go through a lot. So we should be able to speak about it without feeling like, oh, I don't want people to think of me a certain way. You know who you are. We know who we are. We know we're good people.
You know, it's funny. I always told you this, Jen. You're really people don't realize she's really happy. I think the reason why she explodes a lot on the show is because she's protecting her happiness. Like,
Oh
but she.
my God, that is so profound.
Yeah.
That is profound because
No, that's what I think it is. Like, you don't know. Like, you're really like you call Jen anytime. Hey, what's up, King? What's up? Everything is good. Like, y'all don't see that side. So she's really happy. So when she explodes, it's like you're fucking with my happiness. I'm happy. Right?
You're 100. I never heard it described that way, but that's really what it is. Like, I don't even like people around me that are moody. It's like, don't do that. Like, don't bring that in my space. Like, everything could be, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to be a clown all day, but I'm like, don't bring your misery into my space. And that's what it is. It's like, let me keep loving you. Help me keep loving you and help me keep wanting you around. So when people do that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it does piss me off. But I learned that in anger management. I learned a lot in anger management. Can you believe I volunteered for anger management?
I totally believe that.
It wasn't court mandated, Nikki.
I didn't say a thing.
So Kim,
on my own.
Anything, Kim, that you want to talk about before? I mean, that's just give your greetings, your warmings to the crowd, everybody out here.
Oh, happy Tuesday, Garden. Thank you so much for showing up. We are so excited. I think this topic is about to be super lit. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it. I'm definitely feeding off of Jen's energy. Like, thank you so much. I saw something super funny on Instagram. It's this old video of Mariah Carey. And I don't know if she's drunk. I don't know if she's high. I don't know what she was doing. But Mariah said, I'm going to do the best with what I got. And that spoke to my heart. Not my heart, but my heart. Like, I felt it. Because that's what we got to do, right? You got to start somewhere. You got to do the best with what you got. So that's how I'm feeling tonight. I'm do the best with what I got. That's it. That's all I got. So thank you guys. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Well, I'm just going to say hello to everybody in the garden. I think tonight's going to be a dope show. If last night was any indication of where we're going, is onward, upward, forward. So let's just have a good time tonight. And again, thanks, King, for always representing and holding your post as well.
Right. Also, please, before I start, because I didn't get the picture in the format that I wanted, but I'm going to improvise. I got it. I'm going to figure out a way. But before we start, ladies, be careful out there. Yesterday we talked about safety of women. Funny, it was a rapper named Jay Stash from California. He killed his girlfriend in front of their 3 kids, and then killed himself.
You know what? It's getting.
So I just want you, and Jen, by the noise that you made, you already knew. You heard about it.
Yes, I read about it. I was looking into it. Just horrific.
Right. So please, ladies, be very, very careful who you're dealing with, how you deal with them. I know a lot of times you like excitement. You like to see a man mad. You have to get him just agitated. It's just to play with him to see how much he cares. Be careful who you do that to. Be very careful. If you want to chime in, please chime in.
I don't think grown women do that, King.
Hey, King. Hey. Okay.
I mean, chime in like I said, like
be victim blamey.
A little bit. I heard a little victim blaming.
I did, but at the end of the day, it goes both ways, right? We tend to push people buttons, and you don't know what they're
the way of the aggressor. So let's just tell the men not to be aggressive. Let's tell the men to walk away. Let's tell the men to not incite violence against their loved ones and not to kill your baby mama or your wife. Let's start there.
Don't correct it. You see, I'm taking correction. I don't want
to Court now. You are in Queen's Court.
Right.
Respectfully.
But like I said, it goes both ways. Ladies, be careful, and men, know that you have an option to exercise of walking away. walk away. And I know how it gets too. They block the door. I know I've been to those situations. Block the door.
Oh, if I'm still talking to you, you better not touch that doorknob.
Oh,
you better not touch that doorknob.
Right. Thank you so much, Mostly Money TV. We mess with you. We love you. I know you loving out there in Cali, Colombia. Definitely come up on stage tomorrow. We definitely going to need you for the topic at hand. Shout out to Uncut with Daryl and everybody else. I'm gonna give you a shout out, but I want to get through this. I didn't get the format. It was crazy. No one listens to me. Siri doesn't listen to me.
It was really bad because the girl, is a dancer, stripper, aka stripper, and the comments were worse than what I read. The crime was just horrific, like what people were saying about her, and just justifying the murder of her in front of her 3 children, her 3 little boys.
But what does a stripper have to like? That's why I never understood. Just because she's a stripper, what does that have to do with anything? You feel me? Like
right, but that's the consensus is usually, the lifestyle or whatever.
She did this, or she probably was doing that. Justification of bad behavior, reprehensible behavior.
That's a scene.
Okay. I'm gonna pull this up, so bear with me because you don't have technical difficulties. So I'm pulling this up because I didn't get the format I wanted, but it's okay. Sometimes I wish everybody listens to me, but no one listens to me. But it's all right.
Is this the spicy question?
This is a spicy question, and it's a pushback on. Unfortunately, we have one member that's supposed to be up today, but unfortunately, she's under the weather. She couldn't make it, and it was based off of a comment she said to me, and also Jen said to me one time. So I'm gonna give a little pushback. So let me ask y'all ladies a question. All you ladies want somebody that's financially stable, or not stable. You want someone that's thriving, right? Can we say that? You think you deserve a man that's financially thriving?
I'll take either or. If he's stable, great. If he's thriving, even better. But I'm cool with stable.
You try to keep room because it's gonna go there. So, is there a certain look that these men, like you say all the time, Jen, and Lucky said it too, like the men that got money, they gotta have these lookers. These lookers. You gotta be Kim, shake your head. You gotta be a certain type of look if you want certain men in socioeconomic status.
Absolutely. Right? I mean, what is the point if you're not gonna be in that tax bracket and not have the best of the best? Car, home, woman.
There's nothing too fast, there's nothing too pretty, there's nothing too big, right? Okay. So I'm gonna show you a lady, right?
Okay.
And I want you to tell me who this lady is with. And then based on your imagery of what you consider a man, super well-to-do man supposed to have, right? I want you to break down why that's not true. I think rich men don't have a type. That's what I think. So I'm going to show you.
Disagree.
I'm going to show you.
Case study. Please show us.
He's going to show us an exception to the rule.
I'm not going to show you exception.
Be someone that's been with their spouse like a long time.
Are we about to do the outlier Olympics? Is that what we're about to do?
What is happening? Go ahead, King.
All right, I'm going to show you.
We're going to let him live. We're going to let him live. Go ahead.
Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. Hopefully, is it screen sharing right now? Hold on. Here it goes. Is it sharing right now?
It's just us over and over again.
It's us over. Okay, do you see it right now? Do you see what I'm talking about right now?
Bezos, yes.
Now.
Bezos and Sanchez.
This woman.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good angle.
Yes.
She has messed with numerous NBA players.
Has she now?
Yes, and she ended up with Bezos, arguably one of the richest men in the world.
Absolutely.
And I think all you ladies look better. I'm not trying to make ladies compete. And this proves my point. This proves my point that men, and I want to say it again, rich men do not have a type. They don't care how pretty you are, how comfortable you make them feel. Only the young playboys have a type. So the question is, based on that imagery, look at her pose. She's not. It's looking crazy. And his wife before that, I will never talk bad about her because she's donated so much money to HBCUs, and I love her. But that's not the tip. It's not the woman you're talking about, Jen and Lucky, who's not here. They're marrying the regular smegulars. Explain
okay,
that.
what you're referring to is what they call in the industry a starter wife. That's a starter wife. Bezos had a starter wife. They all had starter wives, all of them. Trump had a starter wife, comedians, actors, rappers, athletes, they all have starter wives. That is the term for it. So you're talking about Bezos had a starter wife. But when you look at Lauren, her name is Lauren Sanchez. When you look at Lauren Sanchez, when this chick is in a bikini, she's banging, right? Now she jacked her face up a little bit with surgery. But when you look at her physically how old is this woman? 50 what? She's 50. How old is Lauren Sanchez? 52 years old, right? You're looking at her. I've seen her in a bikini. She has a banging body.
But I never said she was ugly. I never said she was ugly. I'm saying she's not the woman.
I think she's funny looking in the face. She reminds me. I know you're not saying it. I'm saying it. Okay. You got to know. You can screenshot this or whatever. But she reminds me of like when I used to play with my Barbies. Ladies, have you ever squeezed your Barbie's face this way? Okay, that's what her face reminds me of, right? So I don't think, is she a beauty in the face? Is she? No, but I think she's amazing looking for 52, especially from the neck down. And she's Latin, so it's like that whole stereotype. So I get why he's with her. Now, can he get with a 25-year-old banging? You know what I mean? Straight out the womb? Absolutely. But Bezos looks like the type to me, and I'm assuming, because I do not know the man, but I'm assuming he's going to want to. He's going to want to have certain conversations. And also, if you notice, Bezos takes Lauren Sanchez to a lot of his business dealings. They're in business together. So can a 25-year-old who's banging, blonde, you know what I mean, voluptuous, is he going to be able to take her in those rooms and have her taken seriously? Probably not. That's probably why he's with Lauren Sanchez, because she's had a career of her own. She's intelligent.
J. Rod says Bezos is looking for a good time with a 52-year-old.
I don't think he's looking.
Why do you not have a good time with a 52-year-old?
No, but he has options. Like Jen said, he has options. Why a 52? Why not have fun with everybody?
Well, because what's a good time to you?
Someone that can attribute to what he has going on.
I think he's looking for balance. If he was looking for a good time, I don't think he'd be with her.
And he's been like the richest man in the world for a long time. He's probably had a bunch of good times.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So please elaborate, because I don't know what a starter wife is. I think that's why I missed out. I think I skipped that step. So what's a starter wife?
It's the wife that you. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the starter wife is the wife that you build with. She's probably the wife you met in college or shortly thereafter. She might be the one that, looks wise, I've seen some starter wives actually maintain their looks. So I don't want to fall into that stereotype. But she's more so the builder. She's more so the one that you collaborate with that kind of helps you with your dream. She was what you shooting in the gym, right? And she's probably the one that has your children. So her looks might have kind of not exactly been what you wanted them to be after some time goes on. Now, the lady that you showed, King, she does have the look. So maybe not extremely beautiful, but did you see her body? Did you see her bone structure? She had biceps and triceps, probably has abs. She had the boobs, she had the hair. So sometimes it's not necessarily super pretty in the face. It's just kind of like how it's all packaged together. I think women on that level don't have to be strikingly facially beautiful. They can just have like the other stuff that kind of fits along. And she certainly looks like that type. And then too, to Jen's point, she, has had some experience. She probably has a lot of business acumen. And I think that probably is what he is looking for. So, it seems like it could be a good match.
Damn, I'm relaxed today. I don't have my watch on. This is crazy. I must have been drinking too much. All right, listen. Starter wife, Jeff Bezos' current wife. For me, and I want to say this, for me, if you're rich, like on his level, what will make you settle down?
Because when you're rich on his level, you're probably bored. Like you've done it all. There's no woman he hasn't had. There's no experience he hasn't paid for. He's probably done it all. And at the end of the day, what everybody really on the deepest level want is just some peace, someone you can have a good conversation with, someone who understands you, someone who you can trust, someone that you can have some sort of oneness with. After you've had all of the threesomes and the foursomes and the 12somes and swinging from the rafters and sex on the balcony and in Madrid and here, like he's done it. Like I'm over it. Right. I just want someone I can wake up in the morning and not want them to leave. That's all. Like that's people want the simple things after they've had all of the crazy. So I don't know the man, I don't know his life, but if I had to guess, he's already done all of that fantasy, fantastical, celebrity, billionaire stuff. Right. And at the end of the day, that still is not what's going to completely satisfy you. You're still left wanting what we all want, no matter what tax bracket you're in.
So I saw to your point, Nikki, I saw an interview, a documentary with the lead singer of Metallica. And he said that, you know, it's boring to what people think is exciting is boring to him. He knows what to expect every single time he's with a groupie. It was the same dialogue, same conversations, same proposals over and over again on the road, night after night after night. He said what's new to him and exciting to him is spending time with his family now. And when his child takes his first steps, when, you know, one of the children gets an A on their test, you know, listening to his wife's, you know, daily dealings with her. He said that that's exciting to him. What people think is exciting was just routine to him, state to state, you know what I mean? Global, same groupie, same dialogue, same want, same next. So I understand how that can get boring. And with Bezos, we don't know what that man's done. If he's been part of orgies or he was a swinger, we don't know what he's done. So he's probably at a point now where it's like, look, I'm still doing business. I need somebody that I can walk in and she stands upright and sits and knows how to hold conversations and still be cute too. Because when that lady's in a bikini, she's banging, right? She's banging. I just think that she jacked her face a little bit with the surgery. They start looking weird.
You see the segue. You see the segue.
Did you catch that?
You see the segue. But you know, that just taught me something. You know, I don't have Bezos money, right? I'm still trying to recover from 3 credit cards being snatched from me. right. So I don't have bank cards. You know, his bread, but I do understand when you're wealthy, you don't care what people think. If you're really wealthy, I like her. That's who I like. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all talking about. This is who I love, right? It is what it is, right? But as a woman, this is what's going to hit home. As a woman, can you be the woman that had him after he did what he did? Because according to Jen, I'm pushing back on Jen, she don't want a man that Glow described, the man that was out there, community dick. Because Jen is like, if you that dude, not everyone's supposed to have access to you. So could you be Bezos' girl after he done experienced everything? Let's keep it real.
I can be, Lauren better watch out, because I could be Bezos' girl. But in general, if I knew of him being the type that was constantly sleeping with women over and over again, then no, it's a turn off. And a lot of people be like, cat, but you have no idea who I've dated and what tax bracket they were in and what turned me off about them. See, men think money, right? No matter how much, no matter what a woman thinks, if you flash some money, she's going to be in. You don't know my experiences, right? So you can't say that about everybody. But no, that would turn me off. It is a huge turn off. It is, and I told Playboy, the evolutionary Playboy, I told him this before. I said, it's just as much of a turn off as it is to you to hear a woman live that lifestyle as it is to me to hear a man live that lifestyle. It is a turn off, just the thought of you inserting your penis in countless women with abandon. Right? It's a turn off to me to have you in my bed, to share space, to have you in my mouth, to have you in my body. It is a turn off to me. It is a turn off. A turn off. That's why I like nerdy guys from down south who respect and love their mama. I'm telling you, I wouldn't go after the the really, really popular athletes. I dated an
What about YouTubers, like popular YouTubers?
Popular YouTubers?
Yeah.
Like what kind? I mean,
like a Lapeef.
I don't even know what that man looks like.
No, I was waiting for the thunder sound. I'm sorry. All right. Kim, it's an inside joke, guys. Y'all wouldn't get it. Kim, would you even deal with a man like Bezos, with all his money and him leaving his starter wife, knowing that you're not the one to help build the empire, right? You're just coming in and you're just filling a slot, right? And essentially an overglorified trophy piece.
My motives at that point, you know, like with him, you kind of know what you're getting into. So I mean, if it's worth my while, if I'm having a good time, if I like him, if he's a decent person, you know, at that point it is what it is. I can't change the past. I can't change that. Like I did not meet him before. Maybe I don't want to be the starter wife. Maybe I'm okay being the trophy. Maybe I'm okay being the glorified girlfriend that gets flown across the world and gets to meet really cool, important people. Like it just, you know, it depends. You got to look at the outcome and like the results and what's the return on your investment of your time. And if I'm into doing those things, then I'm not going to care. It's not going to matter any kind of way to me whatsoever. And honestly, though, I can see Jen's point. It can definitely be a turnoff with a man just kind of being super reckless, right? But then I also think that when men get on the other side of some of their foolishness and their shenanigans, they tend to be just a little bit better, right? A little bit more settled, a little less, I wonder what that's like. I wonder what she can do. I wonder this. Like they can look, they pretty much already know because they might have already been with her, right? So just a little bit more like settle, a little bit more calm. So depending on how he like handles himself present day, that wouldn't necessarily be an issue. Something you can't think about it because it's in the past, right? Like what can you do? To me, it's really all about like present day behavior and just kind of being calm. Like I think it's very attractive when a man acts like he's been somewhere, right? Like acts like he's been around women, acts like he's been around very beautiful women. So it's less like, you know, dog and heat. It's more so like, you know, I've been here, I'm that guy. So if that's the kind of energy he's given, I can completely see why she's there and hope she has a good time.
Nikki?
We don't know if Bezos is a garden tool.
Right.
He doesn't seem like it to me.
He doesn't give me those vibes either. No, he doesn't. But just maybe another guy that's like rich on that level.
Stop talking about my future ex-husband. Stop.
Oh, girl. Okay, girl.
So, Nikki, what you think?
First off, shout out to, is it Ill Doctrine or Three Doctrine? Yeah. I don't know. Thank you so much. Yes, to the Halo. All right. So to what Jen said, I agree. Like for me, if it depends on the type and caliber of woman. And this might be weird. I don't know. This may be internalized misogyny. I don't know. But it depends on the caliber of women. Like if he's sleeping around with high quality women, I'm still kind of side-eyed, but I don't feel as bad about it as if you just busting down the raggities, the booger woofs, the just any old body. Then I'm looking at you like, like if you're choosing low quality, you just putting it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's unattractive.
Fellas, I don't want to violate the bro code. I'm just going to say this to you.
Most of y'all smash rats.
No, I'm just going to say whoever you idolize, or because you work in faith. Whoever you think is the biggest celebrity, male celebrity. Right? That's not married. I want to clear that up so I'm not getting nobody in trouble. Mm-hmm. They got hood rats on the roster.
Well, listen, I'm
telling you that now. Don't ever in your life. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's a different type of reverence when you smash a girl that she feels she will never have a chance with you. It's a different type of reverence you feel, that energy you feel. I'm telling you. Whoever you think
you're talking about yourself.
I'm not talking about every man that has some type of clout and I'm not like that. Like I was like I have mines, right? But the guys you think would never do that, trust me. Trust me. Whoever you think.
Okay, I mean, listen.
And ladies, they're not exempt because y'all have some mud ducks in y'all rosters too.
You don't know about them.
I can't listen. Variety is the spice of life, right? You may want someone. You may want someone that's different from the next one. I think what Nikki was referring to was on a regular, right? If your resume is nothing but the ratchets, it's a turn off.
All right.
And everybody in town knows, like we know that you do that. It's not like you snuck off in the middle of the night because you knew it was kind of whack. Like we know, like you got hurt. You went.
Nah, but that's not like that's so judgmental, ladies. Let me tell you why.
Life.
That's so. Let me tell you why that's judgmental because.
What's up, Jerry?
Yo, it's just not fair, right? Because at certain circles, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you're in certain circles, you're gonna do some cross-sectional fucking. There's no way around it. Like I trained myself to be ready to find out that guess what? My favorite athlete might have had my wife. My favorite singer might have and you gotta be prepared for that. Like that's what
I was telling homeboy in that industry, and especially in show, it's different. It's a whole different. Everybody's like, oh, you was with her. I don't care. That's my baby mama. That's my ex-wife. That's my ex-husband. That's my baby daddy now. It's a whole different world there, right? You're not gonna get mad at Michael B. Jordan if you're gonna date him for being if he has. I mean, look at his resume, right? Same thing with Nick.
Look at Lori Harvey resume, right? Mm-hmm. Michael B. Jordan didn't say, oh, you mess with my peers. He says he's mature. He's saying, I don't care. I like you. I got you now.
That's what I said. They think different. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, and I think people like us think different. It's just that it's because they celebs. Because Nikki, there's people in the law field, that y'all all know about.
Listen, if you
matter of fact, forget that.
Police officers and attorneys.
In the D9, we all know in the D9. A lot of people do fucking. It is, but and you know who slept with who slept with what, who did what, but everybody keeps quiet, and that's his wife. Yeah,
I haven't done that. I haven't experienced that. I don't like that whole you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like if a guy's trying to talk to me and I knew he was trying to talk to my friend first. Turn off.
What do you mean talk to? What if he asked you permission?
Try to talk to her, had sex with her, had children with her. No, thank you. There are billions of men on the planet. I don't need it. It's a turn off.
Yo, I just felt like I just saw like her future. Like she fell in love with somebody that messed with somebody she knows. It always when you say you don't want it, it comes to you. I'm telling you.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Well, that's funny. But it just kills me. Like people don't want to be forgiving or give grace. People make mistakes, right?
Grace don't mean accept everything. That is a misinterpretation, a
you want your man to be a virgin within your network.
I don't.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. He can't mess with anyone.
Yes.
How long it was and who it was. I'm going to be extremely very honest with you. It depends. It's conditions. It also depends on like how close I am to that person. Like sometimes girls, I think we overdo the girl code. So it's like, oh, I roomed in this particular hall. So did I. We roomed 5 rooms away from each other. Okay, well, you like my ex-boyfriend. You're fake. And it's just like, wait a minute, girl, we wasn't friends. I know you know me. Like, it's not like that. So right. I think it depends on the conditions. It also depends on the seriousness of the relationship. Like, I know people who dated someone in high school, they went on to be like adults. And then it's like, oh, you're dating my ex. Like, I kind of don't even know if high school relationships count as exes anymore. So we got to talk about it a little bit. But I mean, if it's a close friend, or if it's, children or something like that, that's kind of separate. But sometimes we kind of get it mistaken, and it's like, I know you, you know me, and then this guy comes in and it's like, oh, but I talked to him first, and it's just like, but did you really? So,
yeah, I agree with Kim because girls take it too far. Like Jen is the type of person like, no, That girl, you can't mess with that girl. She walked across the street from the set I was filming in, so she's off limits. It's like something. It's like that, Jen? Because that's how like you like. I saw her one day walking across the street from the set I was filming. She's off limits. Like come on, like you gotta give us some breathing room. Like
no, I don't. No, I think you said it backwards. Right. If I know that he dated that girl, I don't want him. It's just too. Listen, I'm not. Listen, there are too many men on the planet for me to be so hell bent on. Oh my God, I have to date you or I'm gonna die. I don't care who else you date. It's too many men on the planet. I have options. I don't have to be hell bent on this one person. If something they did made me something in their past makes me uncomfortable. We're talking about just meeting people. If I just meet a guy, I'm not in love with him. I'm not interested to that point. I may think he's fine. I may think he's funny. So then I get to know him. And as soon as I find something out that turns me off, goodbye. Like, it's not that hard. People complicate their lives, right?
Right.
And I know myself. I'm the type of person, I dwell on things. I don't know how to get over things. So why would I get in a situation where I'm constantly gonna be eating my Cheerios and looking at you like, oh, you fucked my best friend in high school? I don't know.
It's like that. Okay, so if he fucked your best friend in high school, but you just met him now, that's off limits?
It's off limits. I don't need to be in that situation. For what?
Man, I used to be like that last year.
Last year.
Like that last year. I used to be like that last year, for real.
Look at the scenario though. Let me paint the scenario. I meet a guy. He's fine. Mm-hmm. He's funny. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, I knew your friend. I'm like, for real? You know Jessica? He's like, yeah. So then, okay, all right, here, let's exchange numbers. I'm gonna call Jessica and be like, yo, I met John. Like, did you know I'm a high school girl? I smashed. Oh, you smashed? Okay, cool. I'm not interested. Why is that so hard?
It's not hard, but I do think it comes from a place of ego, where you like.
I never said I didn't have an ego. My ego rivals men's ego.
Yeah. I'm glad you know, because like no one can have that.
I know me. I told you, I know me.
That's why you're happy, because you know you.
Right, and I'm not gonna go against who I am and what I like and what I don't like. I'm not complicating my life for a piece of ass. It's too much ass out there.
Right.
Too much.
Definitely, Kim and Nikki, I have a question for you, because I've seen it many times. Say you meet a guy.
What you gonna say?
Say y'all meet a guy and he swept you off your feet, and you decide to get committed. You're not married yet, but long-term relationship. And he tells, one day you're drinking. He said, "Did you ever mess with a Delta before?" And he says, "Yeah." It's not from your chapter. It's not even from your state, but that person is your sorority.
That's different.
That's different.
But you would do the same thing. You would say no, because
I would not say no to that. I wouldn't say no to that. If I didn't know
it was in my chapter,
and I don't have any connection.
Chapter, that's something different.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I want to see how far this goes. What's the conditions behind this?
No, don't get me wrong. I've dated some dogs. I never said I didn't date any dogs. It's just the people that they were messing with, I didn't know. I didn't have personal connection to those women, right? So it's different.
Okay.
So, King, would you date a woman who dated someone from your chapter?
No, I would. I would now. Before I wouldn't.
Oh, last year you wouldn't.
No.
Today you would.
Now I will, because I don't have as much ego as I used to. I suppress my ego a little bit. It comes out.
Think that would be weird, y'all.
It don't be weird. It's only weird when you're not the man, right? Like, I get weird if a woman dated like Obama, or maybe Diddy, maybe Diddy, maybe LeBron, right? Because they're great, right, at what they do. But anybody I know, I feel I got the upper edge. Even those guys, I think, I'm like, nah, but he ain't really fuck with me on the low. He outside on the streets. He really outside. He ain't outside.
You don't think Diddy could fuck with you?
You can't fuck me in nothing.
Who else you said? Diddy and who?
Obama, LeBron.
You think Obama can't fuck with you?
No, he can't.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
No, he can't. No, I'm saying he's.
I don't have an ego.
No, it's not an ego. I say he's the greatest. He's the greatest at what he does. But as me, I could hit his chink. And who's to say? You never know. I might have. See, I don't want to get secret stories on me, but he's the greatest. That's it. But
I'll validate that because I've dated celebrities and I thought that they were going to be exciting because what they do on stage or on fit, and I was like, so this is all you do? All you do is like smoke weed and hang out on the couch? All right.
Right. But not even just that. It's like there's certain things I know and I'm not making people privy to. They not fuck with me on certain things, right? So for the outside looking in, they might have, but it's certain things that I know, like you did all of that, and I did all that without an album. That's how I would come at him. You feel me? I did what you did without an album. You feel me? I did it as a person that didn't need that type of to get that same type of chick. You dig what I'm saying? Like it's things I do. They could. It's not the same. It's not the same. Don't get twisted. They're great, and I'm not there. I'm not there yet, but they're not fucking with me. So they're not. No way.
I mean, but I think that's human nature. Like any man could get a woman if he has a certain type of swag. He doesn't have to be famous.
Right. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like off of my intrigue, off of my intrigue alone, I might. Off of my intrigue alone, I'm definitely. It's because I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm not saying I don't want to put myself in trouble, but they're not really fucking with me. Or because if a woman likes a man that's.
I said we're not being modest this year.
Okay, if a woman likes a man that's really.
Clearly not.
That's really a man that really has real adventures, worldly adventures, cultural adventures, like that's adventurous. There's no one fucking with me. It's no man that's more passionate than me when I'm into you. No man, not dumb, not dumb. And then I still got hope. I don't have any kids. Trumped. They already got trumped already, right? Never been married.
No, I think you're an amazing specimen of a man. I think you are an amazing specimen of a man. You're well-read, well-traveled, educated, and you got that thug shit. You perfect. Like you'd be the perfect husband for me, but you're a hoe. Ooh. That's the only thing. I couldn't do it.
You said you're not getting married though. You said husband.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like
his ways, Jen. If you say yes,
that's what women.
Listen. If me and Jen get married at the end of the year, if we get married, if I propose to Jen, I'm proposing to Jen when I get to 10,000 fucking subscribers. I'm proposing to Jen. If I propose,
don't believe it.
Nah, I wouldn't do that because Jen is crazy. I'm not messing with her. But she's amazing. She's the best. She's the best woman I ever met on YouTube. But I never saw you in person, Jen. When is that going to change?
Soon, I'm sure we'll see.
On what? What is it based on?
It's based on a film.
You never looked at me the same after I lost my 3 credit cards. You've been looking at me a little bit different. You've been looking at me a little bit different.
I don't even know what you lose or what you. I don't know what you have. Like.
No, I'm fucking with you. Listen, let's keep it on the topic today. The main topic today is based on extreme surgery. Is it men fault or is it the insecurities of these women that risk their lives to impress men and compete with other women? What is going on with extreme surgery? First of all, can somebody define extreme surgery for me?
So let me repeat the topic again. Extreme plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery.
Are men at fault for these women getting these extreme plastic surgery procedures? And this topic is spicy because there were some dudes in my DMs already talking about it's not our fault and women do this and that. So men are feeling a ways about the topic because we were asking, is it a man's fault? So extreme plastic surgery, specifically, we're talking about the huge, colossal behinds, the huge boobs, now women are getting fake abs, right? And they're getting their eyebrows lifted and their nose is so tiny, they barely have a nose, and the big injected lips. They're also getting the surgery to, the cat eye surgery that makes your eyes look like this. Have you seen girls like this on Instagram?
Right.
Actually a surgery for that now. So that's what we mean by extreme. If I can look at you and see like, oh my God, girl, that looked like it hurt. That's extreme. That's extreme plastic surgery.
Right.
I think plastic surgery is fine. I'm definitely not anti it, but I think it should be subtle. right? And it should enhance your beauty or take you back to what you used to look like. But if I can look at you and see like you were someone's project on some surgery table, then yeah, that's extreme.
Okay. Okay. What do you think extreme surgery to you, Nikki?
When you get a whole new head, or might as well have, because we do not recognize you. You do not look like your children. You do not look like your mother.
That's crazy.
You this is your third head and none of them look like the first. That is extreme to me. And when people just start looking weird, like they don't look human almost. It's like, you ever watch like Hunger Games, and you see how the people, they've done things to their like futurist, it just looks, you don't look human. You look kind of like a cyborg mixed with a Barbie. Like it just doesn't, like, you don't look good. It doesn't look good. And I wish we would quit lying. That doesn't look good. You look bad. And this is where I think maybe, in my opinion, some of the men's fault come into it, because somebody's telling these chicks that this looks good. And if as a woman you seem like a hater when it's like version 3 of your head is not good. It's not good. You don't look good. You look unwell. and we know next year you're going to have a new head. So you're not happy with this. And it just keeps going on and on. I'm not even supposed to know.
You said unwell.
You do look, if you're walking around with your face looking like that and you don't know it's a problem, you're unwell. Right. And I mean, Kim.
I think you guys have summed it up super well. I will say this, 2 things. Some of that teeters-totters on what's called body dysmorphia. And in a perfect world, I would love to judge and be like, oh my gosh, you should know that, like, you look crazy. You look like an alien. You look like you're not from here. But when you get kind of locked into your looks and you have an issue with it, like, you can physically change and not recognize the change. And I have experienced that personally. And I think that going through that personal experience has made me have a little bit more grace on these people, as far as them, maybe like they had a big nose all their life, right? And they got their nose fixed and it just can't get perfect and it can't get right, because what they are seeing in the mirror is that original nose. Okay, so that's thing 1. Thing 2, so I keep hearing this, and King, you would be the perfect person to enlighten us and give us some insight on this. I'm hearing men.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm hearing men
indirectly, I paid for surgery.
Oh, hey, okay, well, we'll talk after this. But I'm hearing men. I'm hearing men say that, like, the type of woman that maybe they like on Instagram, the one with the really big behind, the one with the really big boobs and the pouty lips and the eyes, they'll look at her, they'll like her pictures, but that's not necessarily the girl that they want to wife. So now I'm hearing men give a little pushback into these extreme surgeries, because they're like, we like it, we'll look at it, we like the strippers that look like that, but that's not what we want our girl to look like. Right. So I feel like it's a little blame shifting a little bit there. But King, is that true? Do you have like a type that you're maybe sexually attracted to, and then a type of woman that you would partner with, and do those women look alike?
Absolutely. No, they don't look alike. And I have a third category, because I have women that I'm attracted to, like seriously sexually attracted to, but I can't have sex with them. I don't know where the mental block is. I don't know what it is, but I respect them so much, I can't have sex with them. Then I have women that they look like, the super curvaceous. They're good to look at. They're good to, but that's not what does it for me, right? And then there's the woman that, I want to be my wife. But yeah, I think as you get older, you start compartmentalizing who you can have sex with and who you can't. Only as young men that we could fuck everything, move it. But as you get older, it gotta be, for me, if I'm not connected to you spiritually, I can't do it. And even if I find you to be super sexy, like I think it's something wrong with me. If you remind me of my mother or my sister, I can't have sex with you. And not just physically, but just, I can't. If you like you, I can't. I can't touch you. Like, I can't. It's weird.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What did you mean by you've paid for surgery indirectly? Because the topic is, are men at fault?
So first, I think it's what Kim says. It is a mental disorder when women go that far. It's not the men's fault. When a woman take it that far, it's something mental, a mental behavioral issue, right? But I forgot the name of it. But with men, when I say I pay indirectly, because when you give women money, you don't know what they're doing with it, right? You don't know what they're doing with it. Sometimes they say, I need money for this, or rent. Oh, here's 4,000, here's 3,000. Or I'm going someplace with my girls. But you don't know if they're using that money for their surgery. You don't know, right? And I have thrown tens of thousands of dollars in the strip club, literally. One summer, before I went in, because I did the whole, I'm going in, I'm fucking blah, 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 right? I don't know what they did with that money, right? So indirectly and directly, sometimes a woman would say, hey, I want this non-intrusive surgery, boom. Or I want this, boom. If I have it at the time, I'm paying for it. But I like to hit the before and after. That's one of my things I like to do. I like to get the before and the after smash. So that's just the honest truth. And I don't think it's wrong when a man pays for surgery for their woman. What I think is wrong is that a woman has a man pay for surgery, but it's not for him, it's for the next guy. That's what I think is wrong. And a lot of men get tricked like that, for real.
Charge it to the game.
That's what it is. You gotta eat that. If you play, you get fouled, right? That's it. I don't care.
It's the same thing as women building up men, and then they go, you know what I mean? Then they leave.
Nah, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Because woman building up men is more so like you just happen to be.
It's worse, actually.
It's worse because you shouldn't be doing that.
Worse.
It's worse. I give it to you. So what do you think? Would you allow a man to pay for your surgery? What type of comfort, or would you want to do it yourself? Like, is that an option? Like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, ladies. At a certain age, and because of you work, everybody here works. A lot of women don't have free time to work every day unless it's part of their job. Like, say it's Jen's job, she's an actress. She has to stay in shape for certain scenes, so she has to have a trainer every day, right? But most women work 9 to 5s. So is it wrong if they get surgery?
I don't think getting surgery at all is wrong. I don't think, I mean, I'm very open-minded. You want to sew a penis to your forehead, it's your forehead, it's your life, it's your time here on earth, right? Do what you want with your money. But it starts veering into dangerous, specifically with the BBLs. The BBL is the most popular cosmetic surgery out, but it's also the deadliest. So I think that's when you're veering into ridiculousness. And why are these women doing the BBLs, right? Is it pressure from society? Is it pressure from their community? Is it to make money on Instagram? Because I think it could be all of the above.
Right.
Kim, I think you had some stats for us.
Okay, so I have found out that there have been over 20,000 surgeries, elected plastic surgeries in 2020 alone. And it feels like each year it's climbing. Wow. And specifically to BBLs. So that is like hands down the most dangerous surgery. And this is why, for 2 components. So the first, of course, with the BBL pretty much is when they suck fat out of somewhere that's unwanted, and then they stick the fat somewhere that's wanted. So a couple of different things can go on with that. The first thing is that you can only take out a certain number of liters as far as fat is concerned when you're doing lipo. And that varies. I think the number, some doctors were saying that it was kind of high, that it's just kind of not healthy for a certain amount of fat to be extracted from your body at one time. So that's one issue. You could become very sick from that. The second thing with BBLs is that when they take the fat out, if you think about your body and the anatomy, you have teeny tiny little capillaries and blood vessels. And in a normal body, they're in kind of the same place, but nobody's body is normal, right? Our bodies are all different. And what they're finding is that when they're sticking the fat back into the hips and the butt and the thighs, they're trying to avoid these tiny capillaries, but sometimes they can't. And a lot of times it results in what's called a pulmonary embolism. And that's pretty much when a little droplet of fat gets into one of those blood vessels. And pretty much what do blood vessels do? They carry blood throughout your body. So you've got your blood flowing in your body, you got this tiny little piece of fat that can get caught in your lungs or your brain. And you don't get sick, you die. You like this, you gone. It's you're out of here. It's just that's it. That's where you are. You're on the other side. You're at the crossroads.
I wasn't laughing at that, you guys. I was laughing at Ill Doctrine's comment.
I might have taken it too far, but it's real. Like that's how a lot of these women are dying. And so it gets pretty serious. And I think what's really interesting about BBLs is that it's so popular, and I don't think people talk about the flip side. But like before the BBLs became popular, there were a lot of people who were getting silicone injections. So think K. Michelle. She actually is disfigured now from like on her hips and her butt because she actually got the silicone out, and she had to find a doctor to get it out because what was happening was she was having some autoimmune issues. So basically her body was attacking the silicone and had to come out. So she like barely got it removed. I've heard Cardi B talk about hers, and she's like, listen, I don't know what's in here. It's not giving me trouble, but who knows what's going to happen. So it's super scary. Last thing, I read a story about a young woman. Her name is Kimberly Smedley, I think. And she just is doing the Kims wrong because she is a lady that was based out of Atlanta, and she was charged. She got federal time for giving illegal butt injections. So she was going to New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and she was meeting women in hotel rooms. And the type of silicone she was using, this type of silicone is used for like plastic paint. It's like an additive in plastic paint. She was using syringes to inject this into women's bodies, and to keep it from coming out, she was pretty much giving them sutures, like stitching them up with super glue and cotton balls. And she had flowing clientele. She ended up making over like 1.5 some odd million dollars doing this. She was charging, what was it, 500 to 1,600. And she was telling women, listen, I don't know how your body's going to react. I don't know what's going to happen. And women were just laying down and just getting shot up. And it's real. So I think we kind of went from the silicone to the BBL. And I think inherently you're like, oh, this is your own body fat. It should be fine. But it's super, super dangerous. So it's still kind of the same thing. You go from one thing to the next, but like the chances and the odds have not improved. People are still getting very sick. People are still dying.
Right.
You know that there are plastic surgeons that won't even do BBLs a lot of times because one, they're perfectionists and they feel like BBLs look horrible, and two, because they're very dangerous and they don't want to be responsible for having someone die during a procedure. Unfortunately, you don't have to be a board certified plastic surgeon to do a BBL. You can be any kind of doctor. So you can be, a dermatologist. You know what I mean? Fill out a couple forms, and then you are able to do BBLs on human beings. And therein lies the danger. Also, the cost. The average BBL goes from I read up from $7,000 to $25,000. From $7,000 to $25,000. The median price is $14,000. But as we all know, I know specifically in New York, Queen's Basement, you can go into Queen's Basement and get one for $3,000 to $5,000. Now, these people are not board certified. They're not even doctors. They're not even in the medical field. They're just, injecting women and sucking fat out of them, which is how these women are in danger and can die. So, and it's becoming more and more popular because the girls online, specifically social media, that's changed our world, is the new world order, right? Girls are making hundreds of thousands of dollars online, and the girls with the biggest asses and biggest boobs and flattest stomachs are making the most money online. So these girls are going out to do that because they're like, hey, this is the easy way out. Another thing I found interesting is, people say just work out. You can get a flat stomach. You'll get a nice butt if you squat. I also read, there's two articles I read, one in essencemagazine.com and atlantic.com. And it said that many women believe that diet and exercise will not obtain social standards of beauty. So they feel like even with, look how crazy that is, that even with working out and just appearing healthy, that's not enough for these young women anymore. They need that colossal ass and that huge boobs, because now that's what society deems as attractive. So, you know, it's dangerous on so many levels, but it's like, how can you, you know what I mean, steer women away from this when they're making so much money doing it?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think this is like, yes, physically dangerous. You could, as Kim said, end up dead. Yes. But I think there's like almost like a spiritual death that's happening with people. Like, I find it just wicked almost that like we're kind of having the situation where everybody's trying to have the same face. It's weird. We're not supposed to all have the same face. It's troublesome to me. Like when if you look on Instagram, you scroll through, like, why do all of these women have the same face? It freaks me out. I think it's creepy and it's weird and it's not beautiful to me. It's not. It's like, this is not beauty. Like, whatever happened to just get in the face you got? And again, this could be, you know, a little bit of pretty privilege because I ain't never known what it's like to be ugly. So maybe I would feel different about it if I did.
Right.
But like, whatever happens to just working with what you got. Like, I just don't. God makes beauty in all kinds of different styles and flavors. And when we're all trying to have the same face, it's almost like we're saying there's only one version of beauty. And so then that leaves out everybody else. And I think there's something deeper and more malevolent happening here with all of the plastic surgery, with Instagram, and starting with advertisements where people would make decisions to airbrush pores off of people as if human beings don't have pores on their skin. And so people would be going into, you know, doctor's office. I don't want it. Like, how are we getting rid of your pores? Your skin has pores for a reason. It's just gone too far.
Right. You know,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, Nikki, to your point, there are literally women walking into plastic surgeon offices saying, I want the Kim Kardashian face. I want the Kim Kardashian nose. When you look at celebrities, you know what I mean? They're on such a huge platform. And these are the women that these young girls idolize. So it's like, and they all have the same face over a span of years. And the scary thing is that some of these women were attractive prior to the Kim Kardashian face, right? So now you have Kim Kardashian, Lala Anthony, you know, a lot of the basketball wives, and they're literally all getting the same exact face, to the point where sometimes when I'm scrolling, I have to read the caption to see who that woman is. I'll be like, oh, this was in Lala? Wait a minute, who is this? And I have to read the caption to see who the person is. And that's how crazy it's getting. So you're right. It does seem like some sort of spiritual death. It's weird. Like, it's like, I have to have that face. I have to have that shape. The plastic surgeon that I shared with you guys in a group, she's literally giving every single woman the same body. It's weird. The same exact boobs, the same exact stomach, the same exact butt. They all have the same exact body. So it is hella weird.
Well, you know, it's crazy. I do agree that it shows a sign of spiritual ungratefulness when you don't want to deal with what God gave you, right? You know, that old philosopher, that great philosopher that says, shake what your mama gave you. What's his name again? That great philosopher. But because at the end of the day, it's like you really are saying that you're not grateful, right? But here's a question, solo question time, so get ready. This solo question was given by Mostly Money TV. We all know him. Our favorite brother from Cali, Colombia. He goes, I just paid for my wife's breast surgery. Excellent work. Researched the surgeons 2 years. Now she paid for my veneers. And he's always welcome to come up. But I want to ask you ladies, solo question time. So let's get ready for this one. Hold on.
That's so plastic surgery gifts.
Here it goes. And it's the same question for everybody. Do you think it's justified for someone to get surgery when they're married? Because you already have the guy you want. What are the reasons if they decide to get it? And is it justified?
Well, listen.
And there's no disrespect to his wedding, his marriage and everything, because I know he loves his wife. I'm just posing this question for the general public, and you're always good to come up here. We respect you and everything. No disrespect. Thank you.
what consenting adults do is their business. So if they feel that that's the best decision for them.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, for me?
Yes, you.
I've never had.
I don't know his wife. I'm talking about you.
Okay, I've never had any plastic surgery, Botox, nothing. I got Jesus. That's all she got right now. Jesus and some bare minerals.
Would you get it? If you were married?
If I had something that kind of would qualify as a deformity, like if I had pushed out a whole human being and my stomach was discombobulated and the muscles was ripped, or even if I didn't push out a baby, if I had to have a emergency C-section and literally they had to cut through my abdomen and sew it back up, and I felt like, okay, I feel deformed, yes, it would be a serious consideration. If I had a medical condition where I had to have reconstructive surgery on my breast, yes, I would consider plastic surgery. But I don't see myself
nothing cosmetic.
I just don't think there's anything wrong with me the way that I am. I don't have anything I feel that needs to be fixed. But if there was something that I felt was off that needed to be fixed, then yes, I would consider surgery. But I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm a real woman, 40-year-old who's always had large breasts, and Instagram is telling me my breasts are supposed to stand straight up in the air when I lay down, so I'm gonna go get a surgery. No, these girls do what they do. They do what they were created to do, what they were designed to do, and they were designed by the creator, and he no better than Dr. Hollywood, Miami, and anybody else.
Right.
But if I had a deformity, then yes.
Okay, I'm paying for my wife to get her body done, whatever she wants to do.
Wait, are you telling your wife she got to get her body
done? I'm paying if she wants to get it. But in back of my mind, I'm going to pay for it. But in back of my mind, I'm always going to say, hey, who are you trying to press? Because I love you the way you are. That's all. But I'm going to give my wife what she wants. All right. Next up, Kim, same question.
In the confines of marriage, I think that you can still have some of the same insecurities that you do when you're single. I think that it is not really accurate to say, oh, you're married, oh, you got somebody, but you still have yourself. And if you don't feel like yourself, and if something has physically separated you from feeling the way that you want to feel and you're not showing up in the world, I think that it's something that you and your spouse could possibly talk about. Something that I know pretty intimately is carrying children. And that can definitely change your body and change how things look and how things are sitting. And to Nikki's point, there are conditions where, your muscles can be separated, skin is hanging, and just different things can happen. So I think in order for you to get back to you, if that's a step that you feel that you have to take, you can. There are certain things that can happen to your body, whether it's trauma or childbirth or whatever. And sometimes things just kind of don't go back the way they used to be. So I think it's an option. I don't think it's wise to completely cut it off. Ultimately, I think it is good to operate in the way of doing things that will get you to be your best and your whole self and get you to show up the way that you need to show up. And that could look differently for all of us. If I can be transparent, I'm going to bare my soul to you all.
Wow.
I actually went in for elective breast surgery. I went in for a consultation over the summer. I was very interested. I've always wanted implants since I was like 16 years old. I was like, I'm gonna get me some tits. I went in finally, and I was like super, super excited. And there were just a couple of things that kind of concerned me. And ultimately, I just felt that it wasn't for me to do. But it is something that I always had an interest in. And I think that just going in and getting some answers kind of solidified my reason to not do it. And right now I'm satisfied, I'm okay, but I can't say that in the future I might not, find another doctor that might be able to accommodate and do some of the things that I want to do, because that's just something that I want to do. Right. I don't know. It's something that I'm into. I would love to have a boob job. But, I don't necessarily think that, being in a relationship or being single has a bearing on it. And I know people would want to say that it does. Yes, it's a consideration. You should talk to your spouse about something where you could possibly lose your life, of course. But I don't think that takes away that thing, because we all want to look the way we want to look. So we're going to exercise, we're going to eat right, we're going to do facials, we're going to do whatever. But, sometimes a little nip tuck could be necessary. It just depends.
Well, you know what? Shout out to Aquarian 231990. You do look like Left Eye.
She does. Not
You
now.
look beautiful. Oh wow, you do
But
look
she's
like Left
more like
Eye.
what's her sister Rainbow?
You look like Left. She's beautiful. All right, but
Yeah.
you don't know. That's what she did. That's why it's funny that you said you wanted you considered breast implants because you were in pageants heavy, so you always knew you were pretty. You had never had an issue getting men, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like, why? You get what I'm saying? Like, you never had an issue.
Well, I will say this. In my younger years, I have shared with you guys that I'm very tall. But then I was also very thin, like very, very, very thin. And to be very, very, very thin and black in like the 99 and the 2000, that wasn't really popping either. So I think that kind of culturally, Black men have had an affinity for curves. So I will say that that definitely was an issue. Like it was a while. Like the dudes was like, "Oh, you pretty, but I'm not really checking for you because you are super skinny." So I'll kind of throw that out and put that out there. And I think that that could have, had a bearing on me wanting to get implants, especially when I was younger and I didn't really like need them. It would have looked super strange because I was like this big. But I mean, I do think societal pressures definitely wane sometimes on that thought, especially when you're younger. I kind of want them for different reasons now at this season in my life, but that could have definitely had something to do with it.
Okay, let's bring up Jen. Jen, talk to us.
I would say, regarding your question, it would behoove you, if you are married, to remain attractive. I don't know why people think that marriage means your senses die, right? Your libido dies. It's not supposed to, right? You're still going to want to look at somebody and be turned on, right? And be attracted to. Now, I would recommend the gym first and foremost because it's healthy, right? It leads to a longer life, it leads to a healthier life, and it leads to you being able to deal with sicknesses better and just being able to take care of your family and your husband. So I would vote for the gym first. But if you worked out and you're like, look, I still can't get these boobs to sit where I want them to, or I can't get rid of this little pouch, then by all means, go get that nip and tuck. But I would recommend working out first. But yes, especially I think in a marriage, because marriage is scheduled for forever. Am I right? That's marriages are scheduled for forever. So I would. Someone said vanity. I'm very vain in a relationship. Now, when I'm single, I don't give a damn. My hair is nappy in a bun. I'm eating pizza all day, and my underwear doesn't match. And I don't. But in a relationship, I'm always like on point because I'm like, that man is going out in the world and he's around tons of beautiful women. So I just want to make sure that he knows when he comes home, you got a beautiful woman at home too. So I think it's even more so important in a marriage to keep up your looks, more so important.
Okay, so now we're gonna get to the questions, and now we're gonna get spicy. And I don't care if all the ladies get mad at me. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck it.
Here a little bit.
I just took my red pill.
Right? Oh my goodness!
Just pop my red pill in.
There we go.
Jen, is that a cultural thing? Because a lot of them. Thank you, love crossing borders. I'm glad. Come on, bro. You gotta help me out here, brother. Come here,
all right, brother.
Drop, brother. You know I'm about to drop.
So we all gotta speak first. I love crossing borders, but he is long-winded. Okay.
Listen, so check this out. I'm glad he came up. You saved my life, brother. You saved my life. So check this out.
Excuse me.
You know his age? He looks good. He looks good. He looks a handsome man.
Let me see them teeth. Let me see them teeth.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen. So
yeah, gotta keep the.
So let me. So
for
let
the
me,
brand.
For the brand. Let me say something. I'm took the red pill this morning.
It's but Tristan's funny. He said, get the bonnet. Even when I wear the bonnet, I swear to you, Tristan, I make sure it matches my little boy shorts.
Right.
My little sports bra. I'm telling you, attention to detail is
important.
Yeah. So, love cross. You know what I'm about to say, right? All right. So check it out. My black sisters, I love y'all.
However,
I love y'all, and there's some black sisters like Wana who says she does this, and I believe her. But I never really heard a black sister outside of Wana on YouTube say what Jen says, because for me, all the men I dealt with as friends, we always say we love our sisters, we date them, but when they get in a relationship, they don't want to keep it up anymore. And it seems like a cultural thing, particularly with the Latinas, and the Asian woman.
It is.
If they get out of shape, they're going to get surgery. They're not playing. They got to look good for their man, right? While our black sisters are like, you're supposed to love me how I come. I don't care what you say.
I'm gonna just hold this up here for this.
And I didn't.
I'm gonna hold this up here for this.
Listen. I didn't say all. I'm saying I just gave an example. I said Wana takes care of herself, make sure she looks good for her man. But you rarely, me and my friends, not everybody, we always say if you get a black woman and you take care of her, and she will get comfortable when you lock down marriage. But the Latinas, I'm not saying all of them, but it's a cultural thing where they want to look good. And if they don't, you can tell. Jen, you could attest to this. That's why it was easy for you to say certain things to certain people, because you know in your culture, you ain't supposed to look like that.
So we can.
Can we go down there? Love, don't leave me hanging out by myself, love. Tell me what you
I'm actually what I believe is that in the Latin culture, and I'm not taking any beauty away from
the black sisters.
I'm talking about Latin sisters. When I say Latin, being here in South America, you got Brazilian sisters that are the Afro South American sisters are in abundance, just like you have the European Latin sister down here. So my point is, they all know they acknowledge the competition is deep, where I don't think the sisters acknowledge it. The sisters like take me as I am, but the Latin sister, whether she's Afro-Colombian or Afro-Brazilian or whether she's up in the States, she acknowledges there's a Jen that lives next door, and I'll be dang if I'm gonna let her look better than me. I'm about to hit this gym, or I'm gonna get this surgery taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and get my hair done. If I got to wear a bonnet and get these booty shorts that match, I'm gonna do that. But the sisters, no offense, they have a tendency of thinking that you have to take me as I am, and that's not necessarily the norm in other cultures. Other cultures, the ladies acknowledge my feminine ways is not just for my man, but is I'm in competition with this other feminine female. And they acknowledge that there aren't as many men in most countries as it would be for marriage or just for relationships. So therefore, these women like Jen or like Wana have acknowledged and said, I have to do what keeps my man happy, or the men that are attracted to me happy, because I know if I don't do it, then the Jens next door or the Wandas next door is going to do it. To where a lot of sisters in the States are like, and I won't even just say sisters, because I just say a lot of women in the States, modern day women, are saying that, well, you just got to set me for me, and it is what it is. And you're like, oh, okay, let me go ahead over here to Jen.
Right. All right. Okay. I don't know what happened, ladies. So let me put y'all up here, because I blew my bullhorn and I called some of my Red Pill affiliates, and they know to be very respectful when they come on stage, and we're gonna hear them out. The ladies control the panel so they can kick you off. So we're gonna do this, but
here we go.
Here we go. So speak your mind, brothers, and then ladies rebuttal, and please, fellas.
I have something to say about the cultural differences and why I think that happens. Okay. And it's pushback on the men. Okay. But you guys, you're here. You have the floor.
Okay. Who wants to go first, Freezy or Red Pill?
I'll let my man go.
Thank you. I'll go first. So to piggyback off what Love Crossing said. Oh, well, first off, can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
So to piggyback off what Love Crossing Borders said, I think a lot of people, like, especially like as we always say here in the Manosphere, like in the West and stuff. I think people, once you get a little more well traveled and you're like going around the world, you see that these women know, like, innately to keep up their bodies for their men. This whole take me as I am stuff that we hear like in America, that does not fly around the world. And that's why you hear like women in Asian countries and stuff, if they're like in their late 20s or early 30s, they're called leftovers. Like, people literally regard them, they regard them as leftovers. And so, like, here, this whole take me as I am thing and this body positivity and or body positivity and all this stuff, this, like, everyone else in the world knows that's just, a load of crap.
Oh, Freezy, what's up, baby? Talk to me. And thank you so much, Red Pill Hustle.
I just got a question. And it might sound stupid, but to the ladies, now I take that none of the ladies have had cosmetic surgery, but if you know anybody that has had cosmetic surgery, I always wanted to ask this question. When a woman gets like a BBL or additions to her ass or tits or whatever, does it change the sensation? Like, when they sit down, like, like the feeling, somebody, touches their breast, or if they sit down, it doesn't change the sensation. And if it does, like, you don't think that's a big change you're going to have to experience for the rest of your life? Like, this, to me, that's big. I don't know.
That's a respectable question. Okay, ladies, so you had the points from the men. Oh yeah, what, love? You got one more thing?
Yeah, I got the answer to that because since my wife just had hers, her aunt got hers done a few years back, her breast surgery. And so now her nipples are extremely sensitive. Her husband can't enjoy her. Certain shirts or sweaters she can't wear anymore because the fabric is just so uncomfortable. But that's based off of the surgeon for the most part. Whenever you see botched work, that means the person went for a deal and got what they paid for, or it's a situation where they just weren't patient and let the doctor, who was the best, do the best work that they can be. A lot of times people just go for the, like I said, we researched for 2 years and did everything that Jen talked about. You ladies researched 100% correct. I knew all that stuff from all the years of research that we did. We hit up doctors on Instagram and their clients we found out if a doctor was certified just to get the certification, or did they actually go to school to be a surgeon? Because that's a big difference. And then we want to know if the doctor had bodies. You want to know that. And so we did all this homework. When we finally came, deaths. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of doctors have bodies. And yeah, you're absolutely correct, Jen. And they'll be on Instagram, and all these women have the beautiful looks and curves and promoting these dudes, and these dudes have 4 or 5 bodies up under their belts.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so let's begin this debate. Jen.
I wanted to say, culturally, the way I was raised, right, Latina, culturally, we are raised to, I call us like the Latin geishas, because we are raised to cater to men. From a very young age, Latina women are raised to cater to men. They are the kings of the castle, even if they don't provide a castle. Okay. Our brothers are raised that way. They are the kings, even if the women are more productive. So from a very young age, we're conditioned to cook the food, make the food. I mean, serve the plates, wash the dishes, do the laundry, and stay pretty. So we're raised that way, right? But the Black American experience is a very, very unique experience, specifically in this country or in the West, like Red Pill Hustle said. So you have to understand the cultural dynamic is going to be different, and they deserve grace, right? Because they say the most single parent homes are black families, right? So if a woman is being raised by just her mom, right? There are different priorities that that woman has, that that mother has, and that she's going to instill in that daughter, right? She doesn't have a husband at home, and all she has to do is cook for him. Like, let's say in the home I grew up in. So that woman's going to be thinking differently. She's not going to be thinking, make sure your panties match. In my house, my mother was like, make sure your clothes matches, make sure you never have holy or dirty underwear, make sure your hair is done when you hear them pull up in the driveway. The priorities were different, right? So that's why I say you have to allow for grace, because in Black families, the dynamic is different. The experience is unique. Like, and then you're thinking about oppression and suppression and systemic racism, and how, you know, men and women in the Black communities are purposely pit against each other, and the gender wars that they have. So it's a different dynamic. No other race or ethnicity has experienced that. Not a one.
I agree.
Black people and African Americans. So you're not going to have a woman openly like, oh, whatever you like, you know what I mean? Like in Coming to America, because the experiences are different. I was lucky enough to see that in my home, but it has its bad points, right? It was to my detriment, because sometimes I went on to be an adult and I catered too much to men who didn't deserve it. So it has its good points and its bad points, but I dislike the generalization of, well, Latina women are like this and Black women are like this, without context, right? And without explanation. I grew up differently. It was like, cater to him no matter what. Even they're like kings with no castle, and we had to treat them like kings anyway, right? Which is a bad thing. I, for one, don't like, in my experience, and Puerto Rican people come after me all the time, but I don't like the way Puerto Rican women raise their sons. I don't like it. And the evidence is, where are Puerto Rican men in sports, in business, in the corporate world, in the entertainment world? You barely hear about Puerto Rican men in any industry. Why? Because they're coddled and babied all the damn time. So the proof is in the pudding, right? How are we being raised? So is it a good thing that now, you know, it's ingrained in me, catered to a man? Sure, great. If I meet a good man who's deserving, but it's also been to my detriment. But it's just, I don't like that narrative. Like, well, you know, Latinas are raised. It's a whole different. There are problems in all of it, right? The way culturally Black women are raised, and the way culturally Latina women are raised. So it's just, I don't like the comparison, right? Because it sounds like negative versus positive, and it's not. It's just two different cultural dynamics, and there's a reason for it, is what I'm saying.
Kim and Nick.
Yeah. So to Jen's point, whenever this type of conversation comes up, and I know the chat, and I know probably what you gentlemen are thinking, I feel as though when a Black woman has a reaction to hearing something like that, the immediate thing is, oh, that's just because you don't want to learn from other people. And that's just because you just want to stay the way you are. And that's just because, you know, you don't know because you're Black and you whatever. But the thing that I feel that Jen said, but I'm going to say it and add to it in a different way, is that there are certain cultures that have certain infrastructure that we don't have. So it is going to continue to grind my gears when certain women's culture is elevated and they have the infrastructure to support that. Generally speaking, Black Americans don't, but then as well, we are not a monolith. You know, as there are a lot of single parent homes, yes, but there are tons of people that I grew up with both my parents. I grew up, my parents are Southern. They're from the South. So my mom was very much like, you have to have a great personality. You have to speak to people. You have to look nice. You have to smile. You have to be put together. Now, I wasn't taught those things to cater to a man, but that could still be applied in that situation. But it was more so like for yourself. You love yourself. You're a smart person. You're bright. So you need to look the way you feel on the inside. That's kind of like where my training came. So I do think that there are instances and there are families and family situations where those dynamics are taught. But generally speaking, are Black women taught to cater to men? No, not necessarily. Again, though, the infrastructure for that type of teaching is just not there. So to me, the comparison is like apples to oranges. And again, I'm not going to say that I don't like it, but it's almost like, here, Look at her. Here, you go do what she does. And it's just not the same. And I understand the reason for coming to the conversation because I have been made aware that Black men are wanting change, but I don't think that's the way to do it.
Right.
And I've seen it on panels. And King, I'm not accusing you.
Okay.
But I've seen it happen and it just goes wrong. And it doesn't go wrong because I'm hard-headed and I'm Black and I'm a B and I don't want to listen to people because this is what certain chats are saying. It's not that. It's just that I recognize that like the processes and the structure for that type of culture and that type of lesson is just not evident where we are. So instead of doing the whole look at her, be like her, why don't we begin to change some things if we do want female children to be raised and reared to pay, I guess, more special attention to men? You know what I mean? I think that like that's kind of where we need to start versus look at her, be like her. That's why you ain't got nobody, because that's what a lot of this conversation reads to me. And again, this is way more respectful than what I've heard, but that's inherently what I hear. And it just, I don't think that's the way to go.
Right. So just before we go to Nikki, I want to say one thing. Once again, I took the red pill today, so don't get mad. I'm just being devil's advocate.
Excuse me.
I don't think particularly Black men are saying look like her, be like her. I think the Black men on this panel are saying you don't look like her. I'm going to get her then. I'm not waiting for you, right? And here's the realism. Here's the realism behind it. And I'm talking even personally. I became financially well off legally, not illegally, but we don't want to count those years, but legally. When I came 40, right? I'm 41 now. I'm good. I'm straight, right? So in my mind, it's like I probably got like 15, 20 years to use this penis, right? I want to get married, right? I'm not going to be waiting or cuddle or trying to wait for someone to get it together. I'm going to go to where they got it together already.
But we have it together, and you don't have to. You don't have to wait.
No.
I think he's talking specifically about the weight.
Yeah, I'm talking about like physically. I'm not talking about like
y'all want me to stand up. We have it together. It's way more worth us to have it than don't, though.
I don't think that's true.
No, I'm not attacking you. Okay. I'm not attacking you.
I know you're not. I know. I was being facetious, but I'm just saying, like, even that is rhetoric that I feel is being, and I just don't know that to be true. I have several friends who look great, who are beautiful, who are smart, who are accomplished. Just sometimes when I hear this, I just kind of wonder. And again, I'm not into. I don't.
Are they married? Are they able to be married? Right. That's the thing. They said they. Okay, I didn't. I mean,
please, Nick. I'm getting a little. Okay. And y'all can call me emotional or whatever, but I'm just gonna go on mute. But yeah, please, Nikki. Just.
What I want to say is that at the end of the day, are they marriageable? Like, so I love when they say they got great jobs, they're accomplished, but that's not transferable skills into marriage. Having a degree, you said mute. You see, having transferable, like having a JD, having an MD, going to Harvard, Columbia doesn't mean you'll be a good wife or a mother, right? So my thing is. Sometimes my question is, I believe you. There's a whole bunch of there's a myriad of Black women that can be married, right? But why are a lot of these men going overseas? Why are these a lot of men married outside of Black race? Because it's proven. Stats say Black women are the most loyal to their men. That's facts, right? But why are the men not loyal? Where's the disconnect? That's what I'm saying. Where's the disconnect? Now,
can we do this?
Yes, Nikki.
Okay. I'm trying to.
Y'all gonna get me beat up tonight. I'm just trying to.
I hear what y'all are saying.
It's a great conversation.
Mature and manage my emotions. And I can be honest and say that I was not raised to cater to a man. Nobody was telling me make sure nothing match. What was told to me is what that report card looking like, what extracurricular activities are you on, what are you the president of, what college are you going to, because I lived in a home with just my mother. My father was not present at all. And so as good sis Jen was trying to tell you, the outcome is different because the experience is different. Who is she teaching me to cater to? Ain't no man up in here. And because my mother did not believe in bringing men into a home where she had a girl child, ain't no man coming in here. So I was raised in a home, and lots of my cousins, my friends, my peers are raised in a home where there just were no men. So there was no priority to raise you to cater to a man when there's no man here. And since there's no man here, I don't even have the experience of seeing you cater to a man. I don't even know what that looks like.
Right.
And so when Kim is talking about the infrastructure, it's just the programming that I received. And it's not like no one ever told me don't cater to a man and don't focus on a man. It was just subconsciously, you're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to have to fend for yourself in this world. So that's what I'm going to prepare you to do. And very successful at that. I don't need a man. Like, I'm never going to be hungry or homeless because I don't have a man, but I do need a man. If you understand what that.
Okay, that makes sense, Nikki. So you're saying that in other cultures, not all, right? We were talking about Latin and Asian, and not all Asian and Latin women, maybe they're trained because their survival is based on having a husband. Are you saying that? Because that's what I heard undertone. That's the undertone.
I think that plays into it. Like, to a certain extent, some of these, when y'all like, I'm going over there because they know how to do this, maybe that's their survival skill. I need that to survive. Like, and you know, when you're saying you're not comparing the, you know, Latina women to African American,
that's an Asian,
you're not comparing, but that might not be your intent.
Right.
But the impact, how it's being heard is everybody else is better than you. And if you fat, lazy, can't get it together, disrespectful, angry nigglets don't get it together, we just gonna go over there. That's what it sounds like. And it sounds mean. And I'm not finished. And the thing is, we could say the same thing about y'all.
Yes.
We could be like, you
absolutely can.
You
absolutely can.
Everywhere, can't get
because we say the same thing about dudes.
I'm going over there. But we don't do that
right.
because you are so loyal. But there is a point at which unreciprocated loyalty just becomes stupidity.
Right.
And I believe we are reaching that point where Black women, my friends, are like, listen, Craig, Chad, Tristan, Cody, bring it.
There you go. But here's my thing with that though. You know, it's funny to me because we have representatives of the manosphere and Red Pill on stage right now. And this is a very, very respectable conversation, but none of the men got into the emotions.
And
you see, and you know I'm always on your side, right? Why can't we have a debate about facts? Like what you said makes sense to me. You brought another argument.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do this because I don't need a man for survival. So maybe those women are doing for survival, right? But then it kind of gets nasty, and we didn't get nasty. We just said,
I got nasty.
I said, Kim,
hey, yo, Kim,
and Nikki, y'all didn't get nasty. I kind of got like y'all got assertive. Y'all did get assertive.
But Kim is calm because it could have gone.
Right.
Y'all don't know.
But we didn't.
Can I say this, King? It doesn't. I don't understand why. I get the interpretation. I get how you view it. I get how it's seen. But if that's not the intent behind it, why must we personalize? We have to take accountability. Wait a minute.
Right.
We have to take accountability on how we're interpreting and realize that's my interpretation. That's what I'm hearing, even though it's not being said. I will give you an example. I was on set one day. This Puerto Rican guy walks in, full blown, what I call white Tino, blonde hair, blue eye, but Puerto Rican. He blatantly told me, it was a dating show. He blatantly told me, I don't date Puerto Rican women. I don't like them. I'm a Puerto Rican woman. Excuse my French, but why the fuck do I care what your type is if I'm not interested in you? Why do I have to personalize that just because I'm Puerto Rican? Like, oh, you don't date Puerto Rican women? I'm Puerto Rican. How dare you betray me? Why does it have to be personalized? Also, what we can't do is even when we don't like it, we can't take away someone's experiences, right? So I date Black men. I've had Black men. I've had Black men tell me I'll never date a Black woman again because of X, Y, Z, blah, blah. I'm not a man. I don't date women. But I can't even if I don't like what he said, I can't take his experiences away from him because I don't like what he said. And I think that's what happens on these panels a lot, that because you don't like somebody's experience, you personalize it, and then it may get vitriolic or you get emotional because you feel offended. My thing is, if I wasn't interested in you anyway, this is why I don't get mad at the Red Pill. I don't get mad at Kevin Samuels, because you and y'all, we are not in the same dating pool. I'm not going after Kevin Samuels or the guys in the Red Pill. So they can say women are the worst things they've ever seen. It doesn't affect me because I don't want none of y'all. You see how easy that is? If I don't want you, nothing you can say or opine about me as a woman, my vagina, my life, my degrees, my lack of degrees, my lack of domestic skill, none of that affects me. I'm not personalizing anything coming from someone I don't give two nary fucks about. And that's what I don't understand. You can't say, well, the interpretation is, well, what it sounds like to me. Well, because if that's not what's being said, that's not what's being said. And I always go back to that Puerto Rican guy. He blatantly told me, I don't date Puerto Rican women. I don't like Puerto Rican women. I don't give a fuck who you date and who you want. I just don't. So
the white Tino guy.
The white Tino guy. So, Jabari made a comment. He said, I'm gonna scroll back to it real quick and then throw it back to whatever. But he said basically, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't find it, but he basically said that's why we can't have these conversations. And I want to challenge that in saying we can have these conversations if we don't personalize it. Every single one of you on the panel right now, let me tell you, can say 10 derogatory things about Puerto Rican women, and I won't give a flying fuck. I don't fuck you. I'm not married to you. I'm not making money with you. We're not working together. You're not taking care of my children. So we have to take accountability and stop personalizing things. Leave people to their experiences. If I meet a black man, he's like, I will never date black women again. They're X, Y, and Z. That's your experience. That's your experience.
Right.
That's
your
problem. That's not
then,
a problem.
Tavana Perry says it's a. Let me read exactly what she says. And she said it's personal between black men and women. Some people can't understand that. So because I agree with Jen, I don't take it personal. And y'all know I think all y'all beautiful. That's why I have you on here. I don't have y'all for your brains. I'm letting y'all know that right now. At the end of the day,
therein lies the problem, right? Something can't be personal unless you make it personal.
Right.
I could have made the comment that guy said. I could have made it personal.
Right.
I could have made it. The men in my family are very misogynistic. I could have made it personal. Like, how dare you view women this way? Like, I'm not making it personal.
Right.
And I think that there's something to learn in how I view life, because there's a lot less pain when you view life the way I do. There's a lot less pain. I'm not personalizing anything you say. I don't care about the history, my history. I'm not.
Right, but Jen, just so you know, I'm always giving devil's advocate.
Okay.
You did actually admit that the Black American experience is unique.
Yes, absolutely.
So what if? That's why I'm asking Kim and Glow. What if that nuance of being unique makes it personal? I'm asking y'all, right? What is? Because what happens is, like Kim said, when they're not monoliths. Not every black woman thinks the same. And when I say personal, we told you our experiences, our anecdote to what we feel. But one, why does it go? Why did it have to potentially go left? And what can we do so you could get the truth and not have it go left? What can we say so it doesn't go left, but you get our message? Like, can you tell us what we could say so you get the message, not take it? You know what I mean? All right, Kim.
So here's the thing. I think it's a couple things. Just because a person tells the truth, that does not absolve the person who's hearing it from having an emotional response behind it. I can feel emotional about what's being said, or maybe I can't, and still acknowledge it's the truth. It's not one way or the other. I feel sometimes people hide and they're like, but I told you the truth, so I'm supposed to feel no kind of way about it just because it was the truth? Like, I don't quite understand that. And if I have a visceral response to something, that also doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, you know what, I get it. Like, to Jen's point, okay, that's their experience, I feel it, But if I have like a initial response, I don't understand how that's negating what you're saying because I'm still hearing and listening. And to kind of go on the emotional whole thing, here's the thing. And again, I'm just going to say it, whatever. It's not going to go left, but I just want everyone to kind of understand this. The gravity of some of this, I feel as though we're acting like it is a isolated incident, but it's very much connected. If we look at the media and you look at just for a very long time that there were like not Black women that were being told you're beautiful, not Black women on certain covers of magazines and different things. I think this all kind of fits in because especially when you are being formed and you're in your formative years, your image is being formed. So you don't see people who look like you. I didn't see a lot of people that look like me at all. And then you're being told, oh, we like other people. We don't like you. You're to this, you're to that. Your hair is this, your nose is this, or whatever. All that kind of forms like how you feel about yourself. So then you get to a point, you're an adult and you're dating. And then now it's like, oh, well, we like these other girls because they do this and they look like this. And it's like, yeah, it is hard to hear, but are we sitting and digesting it? Yeah, of course. I'm listening to everything that everyone is saying. And there are some points being made on both sides. But I think it is extremely unfair. And again, my uncle Kevin Samuel says the world is not fair. It's very true, right? That's true. But it's like, when women have a response or a reaction, then that's an attitude. Like someone, Jabari, I believe, was saying something about emotional. Yeah, I'm emotional. Yeah, this kind of hurts. It kind of stings when you are being told your whole life that you're not beautiful, that Black is not beautiful. Yeah, it kind of stings a little bit. And especially coming from the female perspective. So if all of our perspectives and all of our experiences matter, then listen to mine.
Right. Okay. So,
Black women being told that?
Please go right after this.
Okay.
So I didn't hear I perfectly said y'all all beautiful, but I didn't hear you weren't beautiful. I heard we want women that are more submissive.
Right.
That has nothing to do with beauty. That's
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Big facts.
All right, okay, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm just gonna kind of.
Okay, go ahead. No, because it's a safe space. Go ahead.
Why, Kim? Just
we're gonna go left. I'm just gonna go left.
But because if you make a statement, go ahead, Kim.
No. I was just gonna say like, and I do hear the submission part. So again, to the point, when some of this is being said, I am hearing it and I am listening. And even to Glow's point, she kind of broke out maybe a theory as to why that is not happening because of the structure of some of our homes. Like I said, infrastructure, but we also can't act like looks are not a part of it. Like we just can't do that because this whole thing was predicated on these particular women kind of keep their looks up and then these particular women don't. And we cannot act like there's not a subsector of men. And I'm not saying that this is any of you guys. I'm not attacking you. But we also can't act like there's not men out there that do not like Black women, that do not like the way Black women look, that do not like things about Black women.
We can't act like every Latina woman is shaped like a Coke bottle because I've been in aisle 7 of the Walmart. And it's not the case. So absolutely can we correct. Just there are people in shape and people out of shape in all races, in all age brackets. Like y'all act like everybody in Brazil is a cover model. Every Latina person in your hood belongs on the cover. No, some of them is fat and out of shape too. Some of them got attitudes too. Some of them are not submissive too. Like you keep saying it's not a monolith, and it's not a monolith. And to Kim's point, passion is not an attitude. You are allowed. I'm an advocate for. I get paid to be passionate and to zealously advocate for my client or for my position. That is not that's a skill. It's not an attitude. And I question if it was coming out of someone else's mouth who looked different than me, if it would be called off the bat an attitude.
Good question.
Speak on it. Speak on it. Let's talk about it. Speak on it.
But the point.
Real quick. I just want to apply to Aquarian. I don't know. I think it's a woman. She or he said, I can't speak for all Latin people. I never said I was, but I'll be damned if I don't speak from my personal experience. I'm up here speaking about my personal experience. I also said that there are Puerto Rican women and Puerto Rican men that do not agree with me and don't agree with my points of view about my community. So I'm not up here speaking for the entire Puerto Rican flag and island. I'm just speaking for my experiences, and you're not going to take away my experiences just because I'm not speaking for the entire ethnicity. That's all.
You know, it's funny. A black woman could say easily, and not all, right? Could say, hey, maybe they're getting surgeries to please their mans because their man is paying for the surgery. If y'all pay for the surgery, I probably would have got it, but I gotta pay for the surgery, take care of the kid, pay for my schooling, and you still want. So why did y'all rebuttal like that, right? Y'all didn't say that, right? Y'all said, oh, it's not fair. But why isn't it fair? It's not fair because you carry most of the economic weight of the community, or is it not fair because of our preferences? Why isn't it fair? No one's explained that. What we're saying is not fair. What we're saying, we want women that are submissive.
Can
right?
you hold on, King? Hold on. Aquarian, and I said what I said, sir or ma'am, and I said what I said. That's what happens here. We all say what we say, but you heard me, right?
Right. Okay. So please, Aquarian, please, I just want to get through this because she's gonna go off. All right. So at the end of the day, like, what is not fair is us having preferences, because just like Kim said, and I heard what you said, Kim, the imagery of black women has not been praised or revered like other images, right? So that does play a part in what we consider beautiful at times, right? But I do believe that nature.
I disagree.
Okay, go ahead, Freezy. Okay.
I disagree. I mean, the black woman is the prototype of beauty in the media. Look at the Kardashians. The white women are trying to be black. That's why they're getting the big asses and the listen. White women are we can name plenty of races. I don't want to get into the race card, but
right.
black women are. Huh?
I said we're here.
Oh well, I'm just saying like when it comes to the prototype beautiful women that's trying to meet a certain standard, they're mimicking black women in the media. So I don't understand this. Where black women are getting this pushback that about they're not being called beautiful, and other women are trying to be like you.
It's our features on white bodies, though. It's not us. It's only beautiful when it's on a white woman. When it's on us,
that's not true.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true, man.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Red Pill, why do you don't think it's true, Red Pill?
I don't think anybody in the manosphere, and for the large majority, is saying that we don't like black women. I think it's been well established that black men love black women. Love the way I look. But that's the thing. Like, women consume most of the media, not us men. We don't. That's all. We don't care about that. So you talk about the media this, the media that. It's always the media is doing something. Like, men don't even consume that much media. So what are you talking about? It's y'all women that are consuming media, and that's why I left the super chat at the beginning about the whole plastic surgery. Ain't no man out here like praising women for getting Brazilian butt lifts and boob jobs and this and that because it looks goofy. Once you get old, it looks trashy. Okay, men are not supporting women as much as women are supporting. Oh, you go ahead, girl. You look good. Oh yeah, this and that and the third. Men are not out here supporting women's plastic surgery as much.
I got pushed back.
Go ahead.
Because I read in one of the articles that I mentioned earlier, it says African American patients of the BBL view the buttocks as the female feature that most defines attractiveness within their race and ethnicity.
Is that true?
Wait, you said black men said that? Or
repeat.
So, black women are getting these surgeries because it was deemed as most attractive in their culture and in their community.
I need to hear a by men at the end of that sentence, or I don't believe it. That doesn't reinforce it, or that doesn't negate anything I just said.
What? So
if you don't say by men,
wait a minute. So black men, okay, don't act like 12-year-olds when a woman walks by with a huge ass. Is that what you're saying right now?
No, not at all. I'm saying you referenced an article that said the culture says that it's reinforcing my statement of men are supporting it, and I'm saying where in there does it say men? You didn't point out anything in there that said men are saying that. Yeah, for sure. When we see a fat ass, like we're like, yeah, goddamn, we're trying to hit. But as far as like reinforcing women to go get these surgeries, that's not men. Women are doing that way more than men.
No, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. When they surveyed when they surveyed these women that were getting the BBLs, right? Most of them were in there to get those BBLs because they felt like that is what is found most attractive.
She's saying that's what we want. That's what black men want. That's what you're saying, Jen?
That is what's deemed attractive.
Yeah, so Frizzy, that's what I think. Frizzy, that's what I think. That's what Red Pill's saying, Jen. He's saying that the women
feel like that. That's not what men are saying.
The women are saying that that's what men want.
But they didn't actually ask us men.
That's what they think we want. You know what? Right. This is what we want. Nobody asks us what we want. Like every time
asking us though. Let's not play dumb just for shits and giggles, right? These women have millions of followers. The Kardashians only date black men, okay? So, you know, Bernice Burgos, or name whatever woman with a huge, gigantic ass. Look who Ice-T is married to. So let's not all of a sudden men aren't in the big asses and ogle them and fun and oh my god, she got big.
No, we are.
You even have nicknames for asses. That came from our communities.
Can I say something? I love a woman with a big ass and nice tits. I'm just be honest. But that's only on the surface, physically. Now we're talking about marriage, successful, building a team, building a legacy. I would take a woman with no ass, small tits, but her brain and her the way she understands the dynamic of the household, the dynamic of family, and I can be great with this woman. I would choose that woman over a woman with big ass and tits as far as longevity any day.
Okay, now that sounds amazing, and I respect you for it. But since from when we're tiny kids into junior high school, college, what have you, you know, the business world, we've never walked by a group of men saying that degree on her look hot. No, all our lives we hear she got a fat ass. I want that one with the big titties. I want that one with the fat ass. I've never walked by a group of guys and say, yo, that degree, yo, look at that degree on that chick.
Right, but
wait, I want to jump in there real quick.
One second.
Wait, I'll finish after this. So it's nice to say that, yeah, that's what you settled down with. But what you're saying out loud and what women are hearing is the complete opposite, is my point. So women
what women don't understand is
because if both of us talk, we're not going to be able to.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that. So if women are hearing this from a very young age in the communities that we live in, that's why they roll into the plastic surgeon's office, because they're thinking, I'm not going to be attractive to this man unless I have that ass they keep talking about, unless I have them boobs they keep talking about, right? Because you guys aren't street corners saying she better get that degree. And even now with the red pill, degrees don't even matter anymore. According to y'all, no one cares about a degree. So it's like, which one is it?
But that's the women's fault. That's the older women's fault. You're not teaching these young women correctly. Listen, physically, yeah, you're gonna get the man in the beginning. Physically, we're visual creatures. You're gonna get my attention with a big ass, nice tits. You're gonna get my attention in the beginning. But longevity, women, we need older women setting a good example about how to raise successful households for the future. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be attracted to you physically, you know, in the beginning, but it's only gonna last so long. It's only gonna last so long.
Frizzy, I want to keep it real, everybody. So I can just shut this down. This is what I do. I'm gonna keep it real, and I don't care who gets mad at me. Just like Nikki said, she doesn't need a man because she takes care of herself. She has her own profession, her own money, right? Men don't need women anymore. DoorDash, Uber. We got so many things. We don't need women for anything but sex.
Right.
No, hold on. I'm just keeping it real. Like, we really, if you're not religious and you don't believe in legacy, what do you need a woman for?
Exactly.
So I'm in my red pill bag right now. This is not me, but I'm just telling you the truth. What do we? It's your fault, red pill hustle. I hate you that you up here. But what do we really need a woman for besides sex? So if that's the case, why wouldn't we go for the one that has the boobs, the tits, and this and that, and this and that, right? Because we take care of ourselves now. If we want to, we can get a chef. If those who have the money, get a chef, get a cleaner. I'm doing it now. I don't need a woman to come and clean. I clean myself. I don't need a woman to come and cook. right? I order out every day. I don't need any of that. I don't need you to raise a child. I know I only need you to raise a child if I want to have kids. I don't have any kids. So any woman I choose is going to be for my sexual conquest, right? So I'm gonna go for someone that is appealing to me. Now, back in the days when we all were interdependent on each other, then you could make those choices and say, okay, you know what? I don't need the booze. I like the brains. I'm letting somebody raise my children. But you can't get mad at a man because he wants to choose something appealing to his eyes. We are visual creatures. Men are visual creatures. And women are attracted to power, right? That's why a woman could date somebody she doesn't, besides Jen, because she says she doesn't do it. But most women don't, you don't have to be attractive to a woman, and she will love you. My sister, who's a lawyer, said looks are secondary as you become a woman. Because you're attracted to power. You're attracted to sustainability and resources. Men, we are not. We weren't conditioned for that. We were conditioned to get, men realize, you know what? I don't have to look good. I could be short. I could be fat. But if I get my money up, I get any woman I want. That's what we're taught. And you're getting mad at us for that.
Who's mad? Like, I don't.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying on the, like, who are you saying is mad?
No, they get frustrated because they say, "Oh, you're picking these girls that they don't do nothing for you. The strippers, oh my God, a bartender. Oh my God, you dating this actress, you dating this bartender. I got degrees. I can raise your son. I can raise your daughter. We don't care about that when we got it on our own. Like you don't care about a man like that because you could do you won't let any man in your life. You know why? Because he has to be able to do better than you could do for yourself. And I don't get mad about that. I don't get mad. I love that.
That's not necessarily true. I've dated men who make less than me.
You didn't marry them though. You know why? Because they made less than you.
You know, I done married a whole immigrant who ain't.
That's called useful indiscretion. You were young. That's called youthful indiscretion. You ain't doing it now though. I bet you that.
Can I say this real quick? Because I know there's some people in the chat. I don't want people to misconstrue what I was saying. There's nothing wrong with someone making a general statement and you getting emotional about it or offended, right? It is your right? It's a choice. Getting offended is a choice. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying what you shouldn't do. I'm saying that there's too much pain in there. It's too much pain to do that. So I'm not saying that something someone said about a specific culture or a race shouldn't resonate with you or rub you the wrong way. I'm just saying it shouldn't be that way. You should practice not letting that happen. That's my attitude. That's the way I live life. You don't have to live life like me. I'm just saying that there's less pain there. Another question I want to ask, an honest question, and this is going to piss people off. Black women pine and want black men, but then they get mad at what black men say they want. So why don't you just stop wanting them and what it is they want and date outside the race? Because you can't want a black man and then be mad about what he's constantly saying he wants. Just leave them alone. That's how I feel. Just leave them alone. Because if black men are saying, I want submissive, I don't care about your degree, I need you to be in shape. If that pisses you off, then leave them alone and get.
Jen, Jen, I'm going to say I agree with you 100%, Jen. But I think they have correct me if I'm wrong, King and Nikki. I know y'all don't speak for every woman. I think you don't think we know what we want.
I don't judge what men want. I mean, I hear it and I listen to it, and if it's not something that I agree with necessarily, then I mean, I'm with Jen. My personal motto is I want who wants me. If you don't want me, in my mind, that's your loss because I'm amazing. But I think I can feel a way about certain things because I just feel that they have maybe a foundation in something that men maybe are not realizing now, but that's my personal opinion. And I mean, of course, we're talking here because we are having a conversation on a platform to kind of illuminate things. But like in my personal life, I don't go back and forth with people who don't want me. I'm checking for whoever is checking for me, whatever that demographic is, whoever that person is. But in general, I do think that women can be upset with men because sometimes, we think, oh, you want the physical and the physical is just not the most important thing. And I that is a point of contention between men and women. But I mean, I think both sides are right. You know, you can think the way you want to think, we can think the way we want to think, but ultimately, if it doesn't end up in a match, then you got to find who your match is and find the person that resonates with you. Because to Freezy's point, some men do recognize the importance of looks, but they don't make a decision on a soulmate or on a not soulmate, on a mate based on looks. And then some men do. So to women, if looks are important but they're not monumental, then just find the guy that will appreciate your looks, but he will marry you for something else. I mean, I think in that way it is very simple, because to me that's more of a value thing. Like, what do you value?
Brother Nusi, it says, but 80 to 85% of black men marry black women. Are we arguing a mute point? We're gonna go to love crossing borders. I agree with you, Brother Nusi. It's not a mute point though, because I want to know the stats of how many men and women are settling for the person they're with.
It is a moot point.
I think there's been a study that's like 25% of people that are stay in marriages over 5 years, something like that.
20.
They're unhappy at least. I don't settle, wordplay.
Can you please send me that link, because I want to know how many people are really happy in marriages to say that we marry. Are we doing it because we marry people because of proximity, the neighborhoods we live in? Are we doing it because we don't have options to go outside of our communities? Or are we doing it because we really want to marry our black sisters and black brothers? Love crossing borders.
If I can chime in, I think the stats, and I think Shez Sharday is doing a live right now, or she was at least when I jumped on, about black women dating outside the race, and it's like 1%. So when we're having these discussions and talking about, well, if we don't like it, we should just leave. Like, how I think realistic is that? And black men are like the very, very vast majority. I know, I'm gonna get pushback. I don't care. The very, very vast majority, but I'm saying like the way, because the other races are looking at us and they're like, okay, we can very clearly see that men are not happy. They're shouting submissive from the top of their lungs, and their women do not want to do it. So she comes over here. I already know what I'm in for. I don't want that. And then social media does play a very small part. I'll give you that. But I mean, you could go out and see that women are like just unhealthy, walking outside the door. I've lived in 8 states. I've been to most of the states. I've been outside the country. And we don't act like we don't. The majority, 51 or more % of our women are not overweight or could do something to improve their health. We're being disingenuous.
Wow.
Can I say something?
What?
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
2 things that I want to mention. It's kind of funny that the brother would bring in one of them in regards to black women dating outside their race. Do you ladies, first question is, do you ladies think that the emotion of it will begin to slowly subside once women start to, among our culture, start to embrace a little bit more of the success that they could have in biracial relationships?
Wow.
As in a mixed couple, because I kind of watched this over the past couple of years, and it's almost like the unfairness is men are moving on and the sisters are still down here trying to hold it down. And I'm looking at these sisters, I'm like, sisters, I say this personally, sister, don't die alone. If these brothers ain't down for you, go ahead and go over to Rico, go over ahead and go over to Chad, go over to whatever brother of other cultures that may embrace and showcase the love that you deserve before you leave this planet, because life is that short. I'm 54 years old, and if I couldn't find it among my sisters, I'm not naive enough to sit back and say, well, I'm going to close my eyes to all that God is showing me, and I'm not going to embrace anybody else. And now I die alone because I'm trying to hold strong for the culture. So do you think, sisters, that the once you start seeing more sisters succeeding in black relationships as well as other cultural relationships, that are more of an understanding of why men are making the move, or why women, black women, can make the move and be just as successful? The other thing is, and I want you to remember that thought, Kim. Don't lose that thought. The other thing is, I've yet to meet women that acknowledge that other cultures see the handsomeness, the strength, the ability of the black man that you see. It's Asian women that look at black men the same way you look at them, like, girl, ooh. It's it's Russian women that look at black men and like, if I could get one of those, the same way you look at him, but you try to bottle him like he's yours and he's only yours because you did give birth to us, you did raise us, you gave us these strengths that we have. But yet and still, other cultures will see other cultures and other culture of women, Latin women, Cambodian women, women from South America, women from other parts of the diaspora will see black men as, I got to get me one of those. But yet I noticed that sisters have yet to acknowledge they see how fine these brothers are, just like we see how fine these brothers are.
Wow. Anybody wants to answer? Because that one I posted. Ron Yo, what's up, Ron Yo? He says women can only access the men she qualifies for. What does that mean?
To Love's point, before we go to Ranyo, Love's point, isn't 80 to 85% one hell of a success rate? So when you say, if it's not working with you, with black men, go outside your book, 80 to 85% of black men marry black women. So what is the real issue with the women who can't marry or date successfully black men? 80 to 85% is a lot. Okay.
Yeah, but that's
so are we just talking about the celebrities that get shoved down our throats that marry like the Kobe Bryants or the Ice-T who marry the white lady or the Latina? That's a very small percentage.
Yeah, would you know what? I'm not gonna front, Jen. I gotta keep it real with you. I want to talk about Kim's uncle, Kevin Samuels. That's a real uncle, by the way. So what happens is he said a good point. Yeah, blood uncle. Yeah, I'm joking. But what happens is I tease her all the time about that because she's totally against what he says. But he has a point. Maybe, and that goes to Ron Yo, maybe the black women who are successful, like these two women up here, maybe they don't want to settle because they work so hard. Why should they settle? But it's not enough qualified black men for them. So Love crossing borders say, so go and get a qualified white man. Go and get a qualified Asian man. Go and get a qualified Latino man. Why don't y'all do that? Because it's not enough to supply. So it's about supply.
Wait a minute now. I go to all my attorneys' holiday parties. He's black, and there's nothing. I mean, it's elbow to elbow.
It's not enough, Jen.
Attorneys in there.
Jen, I'm telling you, ask them. It's not enough. You're right there. Ask them. It's not enough. They know that.
Statistically, they say they're over of.
I went to law school.
Of marriage.
And in my section of 100 people, if there were 20 black women in there, there was only one black man, and I don't even know if we can count him because he was from Canada. So if that is kind of, if you can extrapolate from that, the numbers game as far as like black male attorneys, women, it's
not enough.
Like not even. That's
why Kevin said. So if you go to any grad school, you're going to see there's a disproportionate amount of black women to black men. So and you go to college and grad school and you meet your mate for the most part, right? Or your job. So if you're working for like PricewaterhouseCoopers or you're working for any of the big 5 accounting firms, you're not going to see you're going to see more black women than black males. So you fucked, right? Because you marry who's at your workplace. So with that being said, it's not enough. So why don't you ladies take your qualified asses to some qualified white men or qualified Asian men? What is wrong with that?
Elsewhere. Take your talents elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but if I could jump in real quick.
Kim? I was going to say really quickly, culturally, though, are these men dating black women? If there are any men in the chat who are not African American, from a cultural standpoint, from an economic standpoint, are y'all dating women that are black? I think that's an equally important question because and I don't know everything about other cultures, but I definitely know from like an economic standpoint, there are cultures who marry their same culture because it carries wealth and it's a whole bunch of other things that I think go into that. So if there's any men in the chat that are not black, are y'all dating black women? I would like to know that because I think we keep hearing this. Well, if you don't like this, go here, go there. And I think that sounds great, but like, is that a viable solution?
What I want to add on that.
I want to say one thing. I want to say to Love Corson, we're going to say the same thing, and then Love Corson, then Red Pill. No one in this chat can answer that question, but I know for a fact if you go to Italy, you or Nikki, they're on your body.
I know that for a fact.
I know that for a fact. If you go to Italy, they own your body. No white man's going your. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. See, Love Crossing, Red Pill Hustle, and Frizzy. You know what? We don't care what the chat says. We don't care what our city says. We get on that plane, and we're gonna be treated like gods. Why don't you get on that plane and be treated like goddesses? I'm confused.
When I walk through the courthouse, they own it. Like, because somebody in the chat said white men are not checking for black women.
Yes, they are.
Where?
Yes, they
Where?
are.
But you don't want them.
Every clerk, every sheriff on my face.
Yeah, you don't want them, but you don't want them.
Yeah, I mean.
See, that's not our fault, though. That's not our fault.
I think there's a big difference. Like
Jen said she did. Jen said she
lower your standards.
Jen, no, I didn't say lower standards. I said switch the color. I said,
no,
but Jen,
I didn't say you said that. I said they either have to lower their standards or see other races of men as attractive.
Right, and look at Jen. No one asked Jen one question, a critical question. Jen, why don't you date Puerto Ricans? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like no one asked her that question, but we quick to ask other black like she. Clearly, she don't want to deal with Puerto Rican, so she went to blacks.
Well, black.
She don't want to do white, so she went to blacks. Right?
I don't consider dating a Puerto Rican is outside of my race. I mean, that's just
I'm the same way. But you know, people do consider that, so I have to be fair.
Yeah.
But if I could jump in real quick, so to what Nikki was saying, she's talking about it's basically like, okay, men go out and then all right, whatever. And then if women go out, well, we can, but we don't want to, but we're mad that you're doing it. It's like y'all have the option, y'all choosing not to, and then y'all get mad that we doing it. Second thing, one more thing.
We are because you're not enough. It's the second part of the sentence that we're in. If you want to go out, but don't go out and then turn back and say it's because you're not enough. Just go. Keep
okay. You gotta.
I definitely can see how that can be triggering, but if black women are getting mad that black men are going outside the race, then we need to have discussions like this. And then one of the things that is going to be brought up inevitably is that, you know, most of my experience, as Jen would say, like in my experience and everyone I know is experience. It's like how many people have to say it's their experience, and before we, you know, you can't generalize before we say like, damn, how many black men have said this about black women, and that maybe we should like take a look in the mirror and be accountable. Big ups to Jen. I've only ever seen you screaming on this panel, but she's speaking big facts. I got a lot more respect for you tonight. But also, in terms of like dating out for men, I forgot what my point was. It was something along the lines of like, oh yeah, so like so for black women, y'all not going to like Latinos like that. I'm gonna use Latinos as an example, right? It's like y'all don't have the ability, and before you get triggered, Jen just broke down how she was brought up to cater to a man, make sure she looks good, her hair is ready, she's cooking, cleaning. You think you're gonna go over that with that strong masculine energy, and you think they're going for that? No, they're not going for that like that.
You know what? That's what I was going to say.
We have masculine energy.
I didn't say that.
Not you specifically.
Not you specifically.
But I'm just saying if a woman is not. I'm just saying.
I have masculine energy. I take pride in my masculine energy.
Right, which is why there's more than the masculine energy that's going on here, but ain't nobody really courageous enough.
Right, but I'm just saying.
What are you doing, Nikki? Let's speak on it. That is
okay. But even just like getting triggered by the word masculine energy and submissiveness and stuff, it's just y'all not gonna go over there, and these men are accustomed from a young age, like
that's why we're triggered.
But I'm just saying, but it's just like, would you rather be triggered? And you can be triggered, that's fine. But I think another big thing is you can be triggered and be like, damn, I feel some type of way about that. It's how you conduct yourself when you're upset. A man can't just conduct himself any old type of way when he's upset or put his hands on somebody, because then, you know, it's going to be a fight. You can't just use I'm upset as an excuse for poor behavior. You need to conduct yourself like an adult, be accountable, and express yourself and communicate more effectively. You can feel however you want to feel. No one's negating that you can't feel any type of way because you're human and that's natural. What you cannot do is use that as an excuse to act like a child and throw a temper tantrum.
But yo, this is the problem though. When black men date outside their race, when black men go to white women, Arab women, Asian women, they're going for submissiveness. These women are apt to be submissive for the most part. But when black women date outside their race, white men, Arab men, Asian men, they want the same thing that black men want. They want submissiveness. It's no different.
That's a good point.
They want the same thing we want. So it's like you can't escape it. You can't.
Okay, let me say something. I want I always throw this out here.
That's true, because my dad was very masculine. My mother was very docile. So yeah.
So Ron Yo says black men have options because they do the work. And let me just say this, I definitely agree with that because y'all keep on forgetting most of the men that date outside of their race, right, most of them, not all, are well-to-do, right? If you're traveling out the country to date certain women and bring them back to the country and wife them, you have some type of resources, right? True. Black women that date outside their race, for the most part, one thing I gotta give it to black women, when they date outside their race, they get somebody that's fine and they get somebody that got money. Let's be honest. Black men, not all the time. We get somebody a little bit, you feel me? Let's be honest, right? But here's the thing: what you gotta remember, men put, like I said, and Ron Yo said it. We put in work to get our woman.
Facts.
We put in work to get our woman. Whatever the woman is, we put in some work. So we deserve the right to choose who we want. But I want to remind all the black men that they're outside their races. Think about this. Every time you get a woman outside your race, just know that she might not be the best in her race. That's why she came to you. Always remember that. If she was the top in her race, she wouldn't be with you. She'd be with the top of her race or her culture.
I don't know if I don't.
Not necessarily true.
I think it depends on the man's economic status too. All of that depends on his status.
Yeah,
and all that.
Absolutely
so
correct.
If we look in America,
because just I'll give you a perfect example. Economically, I make the amount of money of a Colombian senator. So my wife could have been with a Colombian senator and got less money than she would have been being with me. Right. So that analogy, and my wife's an accountant. She's a corporate accountant here. So the analogy, I agree with you to a large extent, because I'm gonna tell you why, and I'll make it real concise. A lot of dudes come down to these countries, DR, Thailand, Brazil, and I agree with all these sisters on the panel, and they get bottom feeders. They get the ones out the barrios. They get the ones off the street, the P for P chicks, the red light district chicks that I've been trying to be an example.
Thailand. Don't stop giving up the spots. Stop giving somebody
my to be an example of.
Stop saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so these ladies, when the sisters see the quality of women that are being brought back, we're watching 90 Day, we watching 90 Day Fiance. A mistake is making because it's such a large pool of misfit women that are coming back. No offense to the ladies, that I agree with these women when they sit back like, you went to DR and brought back that. You went to Brazil and brought back that, and you had me at home, and I got this, that. So I can understand where the sisters are coming from. But then there's a small pool of us that look for quality, whether we were in the States or quality when we were outside the States. And that's why I have the type of wife that I have. She just so happened to be of a particular hue, but I wasn't looking for that hue. I would have been happy with the Afro-Colombian sister because I so happened to live in Colombia.
But you're an exception.
To meet her.
But love, you're an exception. I want to say you're an exception. You're a rare exception because I know for a fact a lot of black men move to Brazil, Indonesia, Thailand, all these places, Australia, because they really take that quote, "It's cheaper to keep her," seriously. Yeah. You black women come with a high invoice. Why wouldn't I go someplace and get somebody just as equally beautiful for cheaper? Economically, I'm being devil's advocate. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I like
King took his dose of the red pill today, y'all.
I love those.
It's all red pill today.
For me personally, I don't believe in dating outside.
But I want to throw something into the conversation. So I think, like you're saying, these women from the other races or other countries or whatever the case is, they're of lower quality.
You have beef with Ill Doctor because he's been spending $500.
No, he got beef with me. I don't know this dude. He got beef.
He spent $80 coming at you. $80 every time.
It's all love. Look, listen. I think the thing is that I think the red pill space definitely can be seen as bashing, and I think that's what I want my channel to be about. It's just being more accountable, being more civil, being more calm, and how are we going to get better results? It might sting a little bit, but let's get there. But what I wanted to say is that if men are saying we want submissives or whatever we're saying we want, whatever it is, whether you like it or whether you don't, if we're getting the bottom feeders, supposedly, right? The bottom feeders, if we're saying that's the majority of men who are going to other races or to other countries, doesn't that tell you that that's his preference? He prefers the bottom feeders over whatever he's getting in his normal everyday experience. So I think we need to look at that and be like, damn, he went with that. What's wrong with me? Well, that's a question you should actually internalize and ask yourself, because if I see a plethora of brothers going over here and they're getting the bottom feeders, that means that it's all this demographic of men. That's their preference over us.
Jay, Brian,
What's the reason for that?
Internalizing what's wrong
Jay,
with
press
me.
mute. Jay. Hold on. Go ahead. All right, sorry.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Nikki?
I said, so Black women should be internalizing what's wrong with me.
Everyone should be doing that every day and trying to become a better version of themselves. Yes.
I refuse.
You refuse to become a better version of yourself.
I'm not internalizing that there's something wrong with me. Now, we could all bettering myself, but I'm not internalizing that there's something inherently wrong.
Unless you're perfect, something's wrong with you, and you could improve on that. We all have things that are wrong with us. We all have trauma. We all have relationships. We all have baggage. We all have. I think that's a silly notion.
But based off,
we can agree to disagree.
But based off your analogy, Red Pill, I have to agree with Nikki in the sense of, and I'm in this pool of around these dudes all the time. Nothing but travelers around here, right? I'm probably one of the few dudes that have settled, and I have to agree with Nikki in this sense. And I understand where you're coming from, Red Pill. But these dudes have to analyze what's going on with them. Why can't you come to another country and choose a quality woman like you would choose the quality woman in the States? It ain't the quality women in the States' fault. See, I was a quality man in the States. So when I came down to whatever country I was going to, no matter where I went to, I gravitated quality women. So I was never a bottom feeder dude. So when these dudes grasp hold, and I say like this, I talk to them like this on my channel too. So when they grab these bottom feeder women, don't know any English, don't have any skill, don't have any education, don't know anything about the U.S., don't even have a bonnet that match their matching booty shorts. None of that. They drag them to the United States, expect these women to be quality women, and all of a sudden these women leave them or cheat on them because these women were nothing but bottom feeders in their own country. It's not these sisters' faults back in the States because these brothers are choosing the bottom feeders. These brothers need to get them, like I tell on my channel, it's a psychology of relocating and traveling this world. Everybody can't do it. And King and you other brothers that have traveled the world, everybody that got a passport don't need to have one.
Wow. Hold on. Sugar Bum said, and she's funny. She said, let me get this right because this is hilarious. She said, said traveling abroad on a 40K salary.
More than women on a 27K salary.
Damn, you're really Red Pill.
That 40K, but that 40K salary is worth 180 when you're traveling.
That's also big facts.
Several countries where that 40K will take you, that's 180 a year.
Leaps and bounds. I don't know what the conversion is in Colombia, but yeah.
It's 4 to 1.
4 to 1.
I'll give you a perfect example. I live in the suburbs. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, security, washer and dryer unit, all my utilities included, all my Wi-Fi, all my cable. We got security. I've got a garage, closed-in garage. I've got a $1 million view upstairs on the terrace. I've got a workout equipment and everything. I've got 10-foot vaulted ceilings. I pay $360 a month.
I'm coming.
Yeah, let me
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. My apartment building.
My
apartment building is only 5 years old.
I got my passport right here. Let me find out.
He said $360. He's fucking. I'm coming.
Okay, hello.
Listen to me. That's
so
crazy.
the money that I save, if I would have been living in the States, now I'm buying land. Now we're about to buy a 4-unit apartment building next year. Now we're about to get ready to move to Portugal. Now we get ready to go down to Argentina for the rest of the year in a few months. So all these things we're able to do because we're not paying the cost that we will pay in the States. Now, if we decide to move to the States, Could we afford that? Yes, we're economically in a position where we can afford to live comfortably in most cities in the States. However, the bang for the buck, I ain't gonna even lie. When you're sitting back, your dollar is worth $4.
That's why I try.
Your
That's why I
dollar's
tell
worth
you.
$5.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and the rep pill gonna get mad at me, and I'm gonna say it. The only reason why y'all going overseas because it's really y'all can't handle the invoice of an educated, successful sister. You can't.
I gotta push back on that because
I'm telling you, he said, look at the price. He said, I'm packing my bags as we speak. Look at the price.
You know what? But also, I don't want to interrupt you, Red Pill. Every sister that I dealt with in the States were top-notch quality women. I wouldn't be the man who I was today if it wasn't for the Latin women that I dated that were like Jen, that had goals. These sisters like Kim and Nikki that were goal-oriented when I was barely doing anything with my life. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm attracting these quality women. Andre, you got to go ahead and get back in school, brother. If you're going to be with these type of women, you got to start becoming more articulate and make your vernacular more eloquent, brother, to be with these quality women. You got to start going to fundraisers. You got to get back in the gym. Because I decided to be around quality women in the States, when I left the States, it was nothing for the universe to just draw a quality woman into my life. But if I'm a bottom feeder, no good, just hood dude, just smashing chicks in the States type of dude, I'm gonna be that same low bottom feeder type of attracting dude outside the States. A lot of us fail to realize we are children of habit no matter where we live. And so I would attract the quality women that's on this panel while I'm in the States because that's all I attracted. The Shanikas and the Aikas and the chicks fighting in the airports at Spirit Airline, I never attract those women. They don't like me, and I don't like them. Yeah, seriously. They don't like a dude like me.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Because I was in one of those fights. Jabari, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the dude that a woman would meet in spoken word and poetry nights and stuff like. Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry. I kind of feel like the conversation has kind of devolved. I think that what we were initially talking, I think we're talking about looks. And I think the conversation initially was about more than just looks. I think we were talking about our ability to attract one another, what we were attracted to. And I think it's kind of gone off the rails when we started focusing on looks. I don't think that that's the thing. And I think when we talk about the bottom feeders, I think there's a degree of truth to that. I travel too a lot for my job. So I get what you're saying, brother. I do. I think that we have to be able to have a conversation and actually talk to each other without starting to talk at each other. And I think every time we have this conversation about what Black men want or what Black women want, I think it devolves into a conversation of people just kind of yelling at each other. I think that a lot of what Black women deal with in terms of the insecurities are a result of listening to media rather than to listening to Black men talk to them. And I don't mean just males. I mean having Black men actually talk to you about what they want. I think the media is in the business of selling a product. They try to sell beauty products. So they tell you that glow your hair isn't beautiful when your hair is beautiful. They're trying to sell you a product. They're trying to get us to buy, change our body. And Kim is gorgeous. You know, they're trying to get you to change what you look like. We have to get to the point where we stop listening to outsiders tell us what beauty is to us. We need to I think if we get back to that, I think we'll solve a lot of these problems. And another thing I wanted to say, when we talk about, this is going back a bit, and I apologize, I wasn't on, I was chatting. I think a lot of these issues that we're talking about are the result of the denigration of the Black family. We talk about what we saw, what we were brought up with. A lot of that is the Black family. And rather than to say we need to get back to 2-parent homes in the Black community, we focus on, well, I don't need you. Well, I don't need you. Well, our kids, our generation, our posterity needs us. They need the Black man and the Black woman. And I think so long as we're talking at each other and not listening to each other, we're never going to get that. The situation is only going to get worse. And, you know, when men travel, I travel a lot. And, you know, I think a lot of what we see on TV, to answer what Jen said a while ago, and what some of the ladies and some of the guys agreed with, seeing what we want to smash is not the same as seeing what we want to marry. And I've said
Exactly.
that on other panels.
Right.
Seeing what we want to smash is not seeing what we want to marry. And if you can't be with somebody you want to actually be with, you can't judge. It's so amazing. I just told my niece this yesterday. My niece is at FAM. She's a rising junior at FAM. She's killing the game. She just bought her first car today, by the way, y'all.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she bought cash. The whole other thing, though.
Amen.
I told her, I said, you got to love you. I said, you got to love you. And if somebody doesn't love you, fuck them. Excuse me, I know I can't cuss on YouTube, but I mean, that really is the attitude you have to have. You know, you got to love yourself. And people that love you are the people that you need to be looking out for. But don't go into this with these society says or the media says what some black man wants. Don't listen to that. Go talk to a real brother that you know and ask him what he wants. Ask a real brother you know if he's trying to get down with a woman with all of those collagen and all of that crap injected into her body. Don't ask him if he'll smash. Because let's be honest, we're men. Most men smash most things. A lot of men will smash things they don't even want. Ask them what they want. And I think if black women start asking black men the type of man that they're interested in, what they want, I think we could really get somewhere. I'm sorry to go so long, but that's kind of all I got to say.
You hit the nail on the head. Catalina Aquarian, what's up? Is this Aquarian 2?
Yes.
0789?
Yes, it's me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so this is definitely a peaceful conversation. I know you and Jen had like a little tit for tat, right? So
I don't have any problems. I just basically made a comment in reference to Latino community or whatever, because like I know some people get confused. Like,
your avatar?
I'm sorry?
Is that really you and your avatar?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Cutie, good for you.
Thank you. My family's Haitian and Dominican, so I felt like I could relate to Jen, but I feel like some people don't understand that Latino and Hispanic are two different things. That's why I was saying like we can't really necessarily speak upon like, I feel like not everybody could speak for everybody. I wasn't like trying to attack her, but it came off as an attack. I feel like people don't understand that Hispanics are Latino, but not all Latinos are Hispanic. So I was just trying to make...
Can y'all both explain that to me? Because I don't get that.
So basically, there's like a big thing now for the past, I think 2 or 3 years where people are really trying to figure out like what is a Latino. And like if you look online, like some people will say like, oh, a Latino is just somebody who's Hispanic, but that's not necessarily true because technically, because of racism and everything else within the community, people wouldn't consider a Haitian person Latino, but technically they are. Brazilians are. Brazilians speak Portuguese, Haitians speak French. Other people within, the diaspora, they're considered Latino, but because of racism, you kind of like eliminate that and you take that away from them having the Latino experience. So So I wasn't trying to, argue with her or anything, but I'm very passionate about that because my mom doesn't look like me. My mom looks completely Hispanic. And growing up, it was very difficult because people would ask me, is that your mom? And I'm like, yeah, why? But I never understood why. So my mom, she's benefited so much from her looks versus me. Like, I'm an attractive woman, but it's not the same experience. My mom has told me, oh, you have to straighten your hair. Oh, you're too dark or this and that. And I'm just like, what? Like my mom would tell me, oh, I want your kids to look like me. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you telling me? Is there something wrong with me? Like, why do you want my kids to have the same color as you? What's wrong with my skin color? So I feel like, I don't have a problem with Jen. I don't know Jen, but I was just saying like, I know different Latinos or Hispanics have a different experience, but still somewhat of the same. That's why I said like, she can't necessarily speak for all Latinos because it's different. But I just wanted to make a comment in terms of speaking to a man of color. I've asked him before, like, so why don't you date women of color? And he said, I'm going to be very honest with you. And he was a Jamaican male. He said, it's because I feel like our people have done too many hurtful things towards each other. So I want my kids to look different. And I said, I don't understand what you're saying. And he said, well, you know, Hispanic women have an extra type of spice to them. And I just want my kids to look a little different. And I said, excuse me, like that is so offensive. It's very offensive.
Yeah, I
and
don't
then
get that.
exactly. And then he said, but I would date you though. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying.
That's
You
even
would date
more
me though.
offensive.
Thank you. It was so confusing to me. I'm like, wait, this is not making any type of sense. I said, you know what? If I was to record you and put you online, a lot of people will bash you. He said, no, don't record me. I said, no, don't record you because you know exactly what you're saying is crazy.
He was trying to smash. I don't think he was trying to date you. That was
No. This is not somebody who I was trying to date. Like, we're just cool. We're just friends. Yeah, I don't want this person. But at the same time, I'm thinking, if this is your mentality, I'm wondering what are other men, you know, thinking as well, because I have a lot of conversations with my guy friends, and the comments that I hear them say about certain women, like there's a woman that I work with, she's Puerto Rican and Peruvian, and a lot of the men of color have talked about her saying, oh, I want to smash her, and saying that she's a hoe and all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you over-sexualizing Hispanic women? Why are you over-sexual? Like, it's just like, it's mind-boggling. It's like, it's disturbing on another level. And they're like talking about her in a sense where, oh, she's a hoe. She's like a throwback in the Hispanic community. Like other men wouldn't even really go for her because they know like the upscale women are very like good looking. She's acceptable for the Black man.
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a bit of ignorance when it comes to how I want my children to be. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm going to function if my son is not dark skinned.
Well, I feel like you love yourself.
Heart attack. Like I don't care what color my daughter is, but my son has to be dark skinned. I want him to go to the same struggles I've been. I don't know if I can raise a light skinned son. That's just me. Don't disrespect Red Pill.
Hey, man, don't force light skin.
Is that wrong? Is that ignorant? Is that ignorant? Is that the same thing?
No, but you know what? But here's the thing. I feel like with you saying that, it's showing that you have a love for yourself. Like, I'll be honest, my father told me straight up. You get my
point, though. Thank you for giving my point.
No, I understand. But you know what? My father told me straight up, and it's very painful to even admit this, but he said, you will look better if you were your mother's skin color. My mother is the same color as Jen, maybe a little bit lighter. I wouldn't look better if I was my mom's skin color. That's just me being
Can I ask Catalina a question? What is your dad? What's your dad's ethnicity?
Haitian.
He's Haitian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And colorism is very like when my mom went to Haiti, like my father's part of Haiti, she almost got killed because the people there could just tell, like obviously you could look at her and
I'm not, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, you know, because we're going to end the show in 15 minutes. I don't want to let y'all know, and everybody go get their closing words, especially the queen. So we're going to put everybody in the backstage. But I want to say, like, please don't take offense to what I said, but that's just my truth. I don't know how it would function if my son wasn't dark skinned, because I don't know what kind of advice can I give a light skinned son. I don't know what I'm going to say to him, right? That's just me. As ignorant as my sound, but it shows that self love, right? My favorite type of woman outside of people that look like Jen, Kim, and Nikki, my favorite type of women are darker skinned Afro Latina, right? Like darker skin, like the Bernice Burgos complexion, Cinnamon, right? Or what's her name? Ananda. Remember Ananda? She was a Black woman, right?
Ananda Lewis.
I love. Or that girl, the Jamaican, that famous iconic poster. She had Jamaica coming out the pool.
She was Trinidadian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like, right? So with that being said, you know, everybody has a preference, like Jabari says, and we have to be careful with persecuting someone for their preference. Like I say all the time, if a man wants a certain woman, let him get him. If a woman wants a certain type of man with a certain type of salary, don't get mad at her because you can't flip the bill. Let her be, right?
That's right.
That's what we need to stop personalizing why someone doesn't want you. Go and find a person that wants you. That goes for both men and women. But what I will say is this to the red pill. The red pill and the manosphere, I get it. and I'm glad y'all exist because you're sharing what people share in the barbershops, in the cigar rooms, in the old boys clubs. But I agree with the ladies where it's that you don't gotta keep on saying it over and over and over and over again. Most men say it once and leave it alone and go about your business. But when you constantly say it over and over again, it becomes harassment. It becomes a nuisance. And that's where I think the ill favor and emotions come from. The repeated or redundancy of a message to people that you don't want anyway, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But I think that's the thing. I think we're saying we want our women. We just want them to do better. And again, I know there's a lot of toxic stuff out there in MGTOW Black though. I'm not saying that some dudes in the manosphere on some BS. But I think like collectively, no one is saying we don't want our women. I think you had it all the way up to that last point right there. Right. We're saying that because we want our women to be better and we want our men to be better. And the biggest thing we talk about is accountability, and that goes on both sides.
So, ladies, is he really red pill? Okay, they said yeah. They said yeah. But he seems like he doesn't seem like he's erratic and he's mean and he doesn't seem like.
Range.
But that's
it
the
sounds
thing.
More balanced. It sounds more balanced than most.
And then what I like about the red pill for me and my red pill experience is that it's all fact based, right? So I could talk about how much money women make, or the stats of men, or that when women are more educated, they are, they're less likely to be married, and I would attribute that to a characteristic trait known as masculinity. And then everyone gets up in arms. But the facts are women who are more educated are less likely to be married. You can't refute the facts. And then this whole narrative about we're Black women, we're boss babe queens, and we don't need a man. The average Black woman makes $27,000 a year. Okay, so I know there are some women doing really well, and I'm not negating that, and that's great, and I'm happy for y'all. But like, it's just not true for the average Black woman.
But that seems like brother, that seems like fear mongering.
How?
Because you're saying listen, I really don't got it like that, so you better act up. You're going to be alone. That's what it sounds like. Correct me. I don't want to interpret. Like Jen said, stop interpreting. I'm asking, what did you mean by that?
I don't know if I would phrase it like that, but I can't say that what you said is not true, because 1 in 4 women are married. So it's not like I can't say because and you've seen that it's not just the men anymore. All right. You got the Chantel Simone's coming out. You got the Shez Chardays. You got the Michelle King, I think her name is. You got women coming up and saying, hey, I was kind of in this masculinity frame or what that's called. And then I kind of took a step back, did some work, took some accountability for the situation I put myself in. And now I'm getting much better results. So them taking on that advice is having actual real world differences in their lives. I don't think Melanie King said that. I think that was, I'm talking about Sarah Lena. My bad.
Okay. All right. Listen, final comments before the flowers, the queens ended. Anybody on the stage want to say anything real quick to make it
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. No, I was just saying that I was confused by Cheryl's comment. She said Jen is light skinned or she said something not like your mother. I was just referencing Jen's I was just saying that my mom is similar to her skin color, of a lighter skin tone, like when I was speaking before. So I'm kind of confused, why she said that.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Maybe that's a private conversation. I don't know. But I know one thing, at least the red pill admit that they do use fear tactics. Right? So we got that out of them. But
100%. And we're not, and again, I think the biggest thing is accountability with an emphasis on women, but men are not exempt. Okay. I could make more money. I could be a better person. I'm down 30 pounds on my diet, right? It's like, there's tons of things that I could do as well. It's this accountability, is ready to eat for everybody. All right.
Right.
It's not just bashing women. It's just holding women accountable. But I think most women grow up without the father, and they're not used to hearing it so stern. So they instantly are not going to receive it as well.
Okay. Wait, it says women with college degrees are more likely to get married and stay married 20 years longer. So he says your facts are 100% wrong.
I absolutely disagree. I'm a fact check that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he hates you, man. He definitely hates you.
I know he hates me, but all I can say is I would say reference Dr. Jordan Peterson. I'll see if I can find a article or something. But Dr. Jordan Peterson from the University of Toronto talks about that quite a lot. You you should be able to YouTube it and find it quite easily. But I'll find some written articles or something.
Okay, so I'm going to ask all the gentlemen and all the ladies to please we're going to step off the stage and we're going to let the ladies get their final word if you don't mind. Thank you so much for everybody for coming. Red Pill, definitely come back.
Yo,
Love
King.
Borders. This is your home. You can come anytime you
Yo,
want.
King.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all.
Yes. What's up, Freddie?
Can I say one thing?
If it's under 20 seconds, brother, I got you.
Okay, it's gonna be quick. I just want to say I can't speak for all black men, but I love black women and Hispanic women of Taino origin. I just feel like they are the most beautiful women on earth. They smell the best. They're most intelligent.
Say less. I got you. Look,
I mean, that's just I just want to say that.
Talk to her directly because that's what you want to do. Go ahead. 10 seconds.
No. It's just what I'm saying. Just those women in general. Because I mean, just to keep it briefly, I think on a macro level. To me, this whole thing is about a collective. Building your community. You think about Asians, Arabs, other people of ethnicity. They're winning because of they understand community and collective. I went to this Chinese restaurant and I know this lady really well, and I was joking with her and I was saying, "Hey, yo, I need a job. I don't need a job. I'm not here for money." But I was just joking with her. I said, "Hey, yo, I need a job. Would you hire me?" She said, "No, only Asian, only Asian." I said, "Damn, that's why they winning." We got to think like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to tell the black women and Hispanic that, I love y'all, and most black men love y'all too. So let's just try to think of it as a collective and let's win. The reason why black people are on the bottom of the totem pole is because we think individually. We don't think as a collective. It takes more than one person to make a team. We got to start thinking as a team. That's all I want to say.
All right, thank you, brother. All right. Catalina, anything?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you so much for having me on this panel. I think you ladies were amazing, Kim, Nikki, and even Jen. I don't have any malice towards you. I just, basically felt a little difference in opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna attack another woman. God bless you all, and I appreciate what you guys are doing because this conversation is needed.
Thank you. Hey, Catalina, can you do me a favor? Next time, can you cam up?
Yeah, I'm just in bed.
My show is very vain. We do pretty checks here. So
I'm sorry.
Cam up. We want to make sure you look the same way. We're doing pretty checks here. I'm vain.
I do.
And subscribe to the glow code and the up level approach as well, please.
Yes, thank you.
The glow code and the up level. Okay, thank you so much,
ladies. Put that up, please, so they can do it. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Catalina. Red Pill Hustle, talk to us, man. I like you, man. Go ahead, talk to us.
Man, I appreciate you having me on. I just think that we could be more respectful. I think this conversation right here is going to be the most respectful Red Pill panel conversation of 2022 by far. Right? Not too many people talking over each other and stuff. I try to, and see, I think we could have more discussions like this, and that's really why I kind of got on YouTube recently, is because I think we could be more respectful and have discussions that are going to get better results. If I say something that's immediately not going to be perceived well, then it's a lost cause, like it's a waste of breath. So I just want to bring more of that kind of positivity and just fact-based. Like, I don't care if I say it, and my feelings literally don't matter. It's really all about, like, what are the facts? How can we get better results? We need to be more solution oriented and try to get better results and better outcomes. And yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Love crossing borders.
Just want to say, first of all, thank you guys for being patient with my cough. I'm just getting over a head cold since New Year's. So thank you for being patient with that. I love the topic. I'm glad I got a chance to share from the male perspective about plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery and what's it about, and from the husband's perspective as well. So I appreciate that, ladies. And once again, I just want to end by letting you know that if it wasn't for the Black and Latin woman, I would not be in the position of life in which I am today, because you set such a high bar of an example, and I was not one of the men that got jealous of the bar that you set, but I took advantage of it. So continue to shine, continue to rise.
Thank you, brother. You here. You come anytime you want to, man. You want to moderate, you want to do anything, come. We got love for you. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
All right, ladies, I want to say y'all actually created history today.
Did we?
Yeah, because this is the first, he admitted, this is the first red pill. It went from one thing, became a red pill conversation that was,
What happened to the big asses? We were
yeah,
talking about big asses.
it became a peaceful conversation. Literally, it was really a peace, and we finally got someone to admit that they weaponized fear, which Kim and Jen and Nikki been saying for the longest, that they weaponized fear. He said, "Damn, you know, you right." So maybe we can take this to another level and try to make them turn around. I don't know, man. I swear, KWK just be fucking shifting the paradigm, man. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag sometimes, but I have to. I have to. But we shift the paradigm over here in this channel. We don't wear big sunglasses and have new microphones and don't do. But anyway, listen, I'm joking. I'm joking. Shout out to all my people on the sister networks. Any final words?
I ain't shouting nobody out. I ain't shouting nobody out on no sister or brother networks. I don't know nobody.
They are my sister networks. They are.
I don't see nothing but us. Subscribe to On the Block with Jen.
You guys thought your eyewear. You got dope frames, though. I meant to tell you that.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of them be fly too.
Thank you.
Except for that one. That one of them is.
Subscribe to On the Block with Jen. If you are still in the room, thank you for being a part of this in the chat. We appreciate you. I don't got no beef with the Aquarian either. It's just a matter of how people identify. And every year, the Latin community, the Hispanic community, the Spanish community, they change our identity every year. We're Latinx, and then we're Hispanic, then we're Latino, then we're Spanish. So it's like identify however you want to identify, and I'm going to describe my people the way I see fit. You are free to describe your people the way you see fit. So I guess that's all that was, and that's it, y'all. Thank you for coming in here and joining us on this conversation. Even though we didn't stay on the surgery, I wanted to push the guys a little bit more about their preferences and why women do what they do, but it's all good. I'll catch y'all next time.
Thank you. Shout out to Frizzy. I didn't know you was and shout out to my frat, because you know what today is.
J5.
Today is J5. This is Founders Day for my frat. So shout out to all the Kappas, the Noops. Some people say they different, and others know they. Anyway, shout out to my Kappas and Noops. Kappa Psi fraternity, January 5th. 1911, the greatest fraternity ever in the world. So thank you so much to the Noble Clan.
Colors.
Oh yeah, great colors, crimson and cream. What about you, Kim?
This was eventful, and this took a turn, and that's one of my favorite things about this platform and what we're doing and building. Because we go with it, we follow the passion, we follow the interest of what people kind of want to hear about and want to get to. But I agree. I think this was for it to just kind of have happened on the fly, very well structured. We did, feel some feels, and that's cool, right? Because that's human, and excuse me. I think we handled it in a good way. One of my favorite things about this, though, was that it was a very nuanced conversation. And to Jen's point, I really thank her for pushing us on being very open to hearing, this is my experience, because I think our individual experiences are more than anecdotal. I think they are important because they shape our perspective. And while we might not agree, we might not have had the same experience, we can't take anything away from that. So thank you for that, Jen. I would love for us to evolve this conversation, really talk about media and really talk about popular culture, because I think a lot of those concepts are part of that nuance that I was just talking about. They kind of help to build the foundation that informs our perspective. I mean, ultimately, the best that we can do is to just build ourselves and to show up in the world the way that we see fit. So whether that is through plastic surgery, whether that is through a preference of who we want to date and marry, however that is, I just am a very firm believer in doing the work and showing up as your whole and most true, authentic self. As I always say, I'm checking for who is checking for me. And I think if we do that, we can build something great. So thank you, Garden. The chat was spicy, but it wasn't crazy, never disrespectful. And that really pulls at my heartstrings, y'all. Like, y'all challenge us, but it's all love. So thank you all. Please go and subscribe to my channel. I'm going live tomorrow at 10 o'clock. It's going to be lit. My first time going live. Yeah. So y'all come check me out, the Up-Leveled Approach. All right. Y'all have a
at 10 o'clock tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is...
Yes, 10 a.m. Tomorrow's
Wednesday?
Yep.
Okay. 10 a.m. in the morning?
Work. And so it's a whole thing.
I'm there. No excuse. I'm gonna have bad breath, you know. So I'll be there. Depending on who I wake up with. All right, let's go. Jen, you didn't get jealous when I said that.
What did you say?
Depending on who I woke up with, you didn't get jealous.
No, sir.
All right, go ahead. Yo, she really doesn't care about me.
You belong to the streets.
Yo, if I'm not checking for you at a picture, it's Jen. I'm not checking for you at all. She's not checking for nobody. All right, go ahead, Nikki. Go ahead.
This was fun. This was nice. I mean, y'all got me a little turned today. Y'all got the prosecutor, the defense attorney. Y'all got all of that today. So I hope it wasn't a little too much. But this was a good conversation. It did go in a different direction, which, you know, organic conversations I think are the best. I love the way everyone can be respectful to one another on the panel, in the chat. King, I think a lot of that is because you do a really good job of setting the tone that, like, the disrespect will not be tolerated. So I appreciate you for that. And love to everybody in the garden. The King and I are going to be going live this Saturday on my channel, The Glow Code. I'm about to get all up in his business. Right. We're going to get the backstory, and we're going to be talking about what are the qualities of a king. Right. It can't just be this in the club. That ain't it. You're gonna find out what are the real qualities of a king. So come on over to my page, The Glow Code, 5 o'clock on Saturday for that one-on-one sit down with King. Please subscribe to the channel, hit a like button, watch a video, because you know he's been telling me I got to get my watch hours up. So if y'all can help me with that, that would be great. But just have a good night. Thank you so much. This was great.
Right. And also, let me let you know one thing. Today, y'all was throwing some bread up today. You know what I mean? Y'all was really throwing some bread. I think y'all want me to get more Louis luggage. So that's what I'm going to do. But I want to say one thing too. When the ladies go up like Jen, I want the same love and cash apps, if not more, for when Jen comes. And I don't know if you don't put your cash app up there, do you?
I don't. I
need to get bread. You don't need no bread.
I have my personal cash app, but I need to get for my business account, which I do have. I need to get a cash app for that account.
Okay. And then you have one. What happened? Say again. I'm sorry, Jen.
My super chat is up.
Okay, yeah. So everybody, super chat, please. When Jen has a show, when's your next show, Jen? We're gonna.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, but if she continues this, I feel like certain topics bring so much people and traction. Like, this is one of the topics. But when Jen does her thing, let's go and support with super chats and also cash apps. When Glow finally gets her cash app in there, go and support her.
Just know this. I told you I was taking my channel back to what it originally was before the wars. And on my next panel is going to be a couple very fine, productive, successful men who are missing limbs.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's gonna be juicy.
Wow. I definitely got. I'm going, and I'm super chatting.
So you have to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know you're notified when I'm back. But I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very interesting.
We did. It's going to be this week or next week?
This week for sure. Like, if I can get this done in a couple days, I will. It depends on their availability, but I already spoke to them. So it's going to be very interesting because I'm going to ask everything that people think about guys without limbs. And they said I can get personal. So I'm asking everything that we think about. What we look into.
Whoa. Listen, listen. I'm there. Kim, you have your cash app on your show tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. Yeah, I'll figure out the cash app situation.
If you don't,
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Oh, that's my 7.
Huh?
Yeah. That's my 7 a.m.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're gonna if for everybody that has it, please go and support. This thing requires a lot of time from people to organize it, to create it. So go and support these women, and go and support anybody associated with KWK. We the next wave.
I'll be watching at 7 a.m.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. But like I said, it's very important. Like I'm saying, we want to make sure that we are not just supporting, but supporting. Because it's very important that we have these women get to the next level. And they only do that with your support and your support. That's how it works. That's how it works. And also, it's real simple. You think about it, you're getting entertained, you're getting informed, and you also it's interactive, right? You get to talk to the people and ask them questions as they go. And I don't think I realized this. You're getting free consultation for the most part. Like all these women up here are intelligent and professional. They feel and they smart and opinionated, and they're not just saying things they feel. Every one of them could back up what they're saying. So these are the people that I learned so much backstage with them before our shows. You have no idea, right? I'm trying to explain to girls how I'm going to marry them. My credit looks crazy. They try to get me to help me. We got to do a show about that, Kim. How do you marry somebody with bad credit? Not saying I have bad credit or no money. Like, how do you do that, right? Like, what's going on, right?
The bad credit.
About it later.
All right, let's go. It's crazy. We got to do a show about that, and also I want one of y'all to do a show with Red Pill because I feel like he's a Red Pill, but he's like very factual, very on point, very polite, and I think I need that's the Red Pill. Like we could have a real debate about, because other than that, Jen would have screamed on him like hours ago. He even said, Jen, you're kind of different. You don't scream as much. It was kind of funny. That is a happy person. I keep on telling you, I don't believe me.
I can't say it enough. I reciprocate energy. You want to go there with me, I'll go there. If not,
right.
The company I'm in, which is why I don't like frequenting that environment.
Right.
I don't like having to go there. But
all right. Tomorrow, the topic for tomorrow is women are like Marlo from The Wire. I know that makes no sense, like most of my topics, but women are like Marlo from The Wire. If you watch The Wire, Marlo, the guy with the scar.
You know him? He's from Brooklyn. You probably know him.
I know. I don't know him personally, but
I see him, right?
Jamie Hector.
I'm right.
Yeah, but women are like Marlo from The Wire.
Your topics are like puzzles. It's
right. So when you're
an enigma.
Right. So what happens is you're gonna see why I say this, because every woman does this, and it's a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve. So if you watch the last scene of The Wire with Marlo, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. All right. So take care, everybody. Have a beautiful day. And tomorrow, let's support Kim, 10 a.m., 7 a.m. PST, 10 a.m. EST, 9 a.m. CST, and that's it. And then and at the end, come to my show if you want to. It don't matter. It don't matter if you come or not. I'm still great, but I appreciate y'all. All right, take care.